This broadcast is under the direction and is copywritten by Champion Sports Radio. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or use of the audio stream, and any and all other use of the accounts of this broadcast without the direct written consent and permission of Champion Sports Radio is strictly prohibited. All rights are reserved by Champion Sports Radio and ChampionSportsRadio.com. This is a presentation of Champion Sports Radio, your home for championship broadcasts.
Good evening and welcome to Irving School Stadium in Irving, Texas, along with Josh Vernon, my color commentator and analyst tonight. I am Barry Probst, bringing you tonight's Coppell Cowboy action on ChampionSportsRadio.com. And Josh, good to have you in the booth alongside tonight. Appreciate you stepping in here on very late minute notice.
Thanks for having me, Barry. It's nice to be here. Good to be here at ISS on a playoff game night. It's going to be exciting.
And Josh, you know a thing or two about Irving. You played for MacArthur several years ago and TCU, and a lot of football pedigree you bring into this. And, kind of reminisce and harken back for a few moments just on what it was like for you a few short years ago here.
Yeah, a few years ago. It seems like it's racking up the years a couple times. But, I come here and, especially a night like tonight, I get a little chills myself, seeing all this stuff going on, the traditions, especially at Irving School. I like to see Irving School in the playoffs. It's not too much different from when I was here. I'm just glad to be here, the opportunity to watch this game on this night, and hopefully it's a good one.
Well, during the Dickies pregame show, I should say here, we're going to introduce some of the starting lineups, and we're also going to get you back let you hear some of the coaches. We got to speak with Coach De La Torre of Irving High, as well as Coach McBride of Coppell. We'll take a break and come back in a moment on the Dickies pregame show on Champion Sports Radio.
Looking for the perfect place to catch dinner before a Coppell home game? Then head over and check out the best mouth-watering, lip-smacking, finger-licking, great-tasting barbecue there is at Dickey's Barbecue Pit. Whether it's takeout, catering, or dining in, Dickey's Barbecue Pit will deliver some of the best barbecue you've ever had, and be sure to round up the whole family and stop by on Sundays when kids eat free. Dickey's Barbecue Pit is located at 801 South Denton Tap Road, just north of Beltline. Dickey's Barbecue Pit, slow smoked and served fast since 1941.
If you're a basketball parent or coach, you need StatGeek, the simplest way to keep stats ever created. Our easy-to-use iPad app turns anyone into a professional statistician, and all they have to do is simply follow the ball. Produce full and accurate box scores and play-by-play reports. Send accurate stats out to your fans, media, or recruiters. It's sports statistic collection redefined. StatGeek is available right now in the iPad App Store for just $4.99, and there are team fundraising opportunities available as well. On the web at StatGeek.com. StatGeek, keep your eye on the ball.
Especially with all this brain stuff going around.
The Dickies pregame show. We got a chance to catch up with Coach Joe McBride of Coppell moments ago before the game, and here's some of what he had to say. Facing Irving, and Coach, you 8-1 heading into this game. You had a good week of practice, I assume. And what do you see in Irving other than Antonio Franklin, Christian Garcia that really maybe give you cause for concern?
Well, they got a good 1-2 punch in the backfield with their zone read stuff, and they've got a couple of really good receivers that can stretch the field, and they're athletic, tall. So they've got weapons. They're not without guys to expose you and hurt you. They got them where they need them, and so and they got big physical kids on defense. Big old D lineman, and he's done a good job of really pulling this thing together, and you can tell it when you watch him.
Now they've had a couple of guys this year, a couple of games rather, where they got shut out kind of in lopsided fashion, but then they bounced back and really got it going. And do you know of anything you saw on film that can attribute to something like that?
No, not really. But even I know watching them in Trinity, they ran the ball well in Trinity and did some things on offense really well. But Trinity's a little bit of a crazy chess match for anybody just because they outweigh everybody by 80 to 90 to 100 pounds up front. And then LD Bell and Collardale, I think they're in a real high potent spread attack, and anytime you're doing that, they may have been on fire or something like that. Who knows? I'm not sure.
You guys had a great performance last week against Louisville in the season finale, and some guys like Solomon Thomas and Brandon Rice got a rest. That helped them a lot, or was it a precautionary measure? Or
yeah, they did the rest themselves a little bit, but they'll be back tonight and excited to play. That's the name of the game around. That's why Allen's so good. Their depth is unbelievable. The name of the game in this whole thing is stay healthy. You start getting beat up, and it's going to be tough to make a run.
And how are you doing relatively health-wise? Everybody pretty much ready to go?
I think all right, relatively. We got a little here, a little there, which I would think anybody would 10 weeks into the thing. But, I feel like for the most part, we're all right.
Coach, thanks for the time. Appreciate it. Good luck tonight.
All right,
Take care. That was Coach Joe McBride with the Dickies pregame show coaches interview. We will take a break and come back in a moment and catch up with Coach De La Torre. You're listening to Champion Sports Radio.
A place for everything.
As you'll see, projections for the next quarter are...
He shoots, he scores! 2 points for team middle management. The office is not one of them.
Jack, can I see you in my office?
No pouting, it's your ball. Let's see what you got.
But Whirly Ball is. For corporate events, team building, and private parties, Whirly Ball in Hearst and Plano is electric fun. Test your skills on the arcade games. Zip around in your Whirly Bug for a Whirly Ball competition. Or play the most affordable laser tag in the city. Learn more at whirlyball.info.
Since 1912, Liberty Mutual has been helping people live safer, more secure lives. For all your auto, home, life insurance needs, plus personal customer service right when you need it most, call Agent Josh Workman at 972-317-9630, extension 58782. Responsibility. What's your policy? Go Cowboys.
Stay up on all the latest news about the teams you care about and know when your favorite games are on the air thanks to Champion Sports Radio social media. Either follow @Champion Sports on Twitter or like our Facebook page at facebook.com/Champion Sports Radio, and you will know what time your game starts, who was named Player of the Week, or what your school's alumni are doing in college. That's on Twitter @Champion Sports and facebook.com/Champion Sports Radio. Your home for championship social media.
Welcome back to the Dickies pregame show. Barry Probst and Josh Vernon with you up here in the booth tonight. And as promised, we got to catch up with Irving High head coach, Coach De La Torre. And here's some of what Coach De La Torre had to say. Barry Probst down here on the field with head coach Aaron De La Torre of Irving High. And, Coach, first of all, congratulations on the playoff berth tonight.
Thank you very much.
6-4 season. You turned it around last few games, got them going, and big games from Christian Garcia and Antonio Franklin. And I assume you're going to have to depend on those guys again tonight to have a big performance.
I mean, we're going to stick with what got us here. You don't change your identity overnight. The consistency of what we've been able to do the last 2 years is why we've been able to be, and get better every game. Our kids have bought into everything that we've said, and we're just real proud of them.
Was there anything about, you thought, well, you may not make the playoffs, you may, and then all of a sudden you got to prepare a different way or prepare for this Coppell team?
We've had an injury, here and there throughout the year, but we've been able to overcome, which is what I'm really proud of the kids about doing. We don't make no excuses, but, we've done what we do. And you get our tape, we ain't going to change. We just got to get out here and execute, and we do that, and good things will happen for us.
It's out there for you tonight. You're facing a Coppell team that's big on the ground, and how do you see that shaping up versus your defense?
For us, I don't know what we're ranked statistically, but we're one of the better rush defenses. That doesn't really mean a whole lot when you play football. but, we have Trinity, Bell. We got some heavyweights in this district as well, and we think we've done a really good job, and it's going to be the same thing tonight. My philosophy in coaching is you got to be able to run the ball, you got to be able to stop the run. After that, let's go play football.
Correct.
And you got a chance to win the game if you can do those things.
And along the way in this season, what area have you seen that you guys have improved the most?
Defensively.
Okay.
Offensively, we've been able to score the last 2 years since we've been here. Defensively, we've made significant progress.
Well, Coach, congratulations to you on the playoff berth, and good luck to you
I
and your
appreciate it.
Tigers tonight.
Thank you very much.
All right, very good. And that was Coach De La Torre with his pregame thoughts. We will take a break and come back in a moment with more of the Dickies pregame show. You're listening to Coppell Cowboy Football on ChampionSportsRadio.com.
At Frost, we could talk to you about our 24/7 online banking. Or we could talk to you about our more than 1,100 ATMs across Texas. We can even talk to you about our mobile banking app that lets you pay bills, transfer funds, and deposit checks from anywhere. But at the end of the day, there's nothing we enjoy more than to just talk to you.
Thank you for calling Frost. How may I help you?
We're here with the technology and convenience you want and the service you deserve. Frost. Banking, investments, insurance.
At J. Macklin's Grill, you'll perfect the art of unwinding in a space that's warm and welcoming, with food that's fun and satisfying. Whether you are inside enjoying the mellow ambiance or outside people watching from the patio, J. Macklin's Grill is sure to provide an unparalleled casual dining experience, which is why they were voted best in Coppell. Stop by J. Macklin's Grill after the game and listen to live music on the patio Friday and Saturday nights. J. Macklin's Grill, chef-inspired, reservations not required. On the web at jmacklinsgrill.com.
Welcome back to the Dickies pregame show. Barry Probst and Josh Vernon here with you. And Josh, the Irving Tigers in the playoffs for the first time since 2008. And they ended up with a 6-4 record, 3-4 in district. And they took some lumps, along the season. They got shut out in a couple of games back-to-back, like 42-0, 37-0. But Coach De La Torre and company managed to right the ship and get them going in the right direction. And they've had great performances by Antonio Franklin, specifically last week. A big game against, not to rub it in, your alma mater there, yes, Irving MacArthur.
Yeah, Del Torre, he's a really good coach, man. I've known him for a while. What he does with those kids, those two main losses you talked about, he's able to get them and get them motivated, and most important games the next game. So I know he's really good about that, and I know he's going to have them ready tonight.
He will have them ready indeed, and we are just about ready. Speaking of that, as Adam Centers of Coppell has it teed up and centers with a big leg, as you'll see tonight. He can kick it through the uprights on the kickoffs. That is a routine for him. And back to receive for the Irving Tigers, along with Michael Coley, is Antonio Franklin, I believe. And this kick is actually a squibber. It's going to stay low and fielded up by the up man at the 22, coming near side and running right into a scrum with the ball is Irving High's. Looked like it was Morris Shell III, if I'm reading it right. These programs, they really make it easy to read here, don't they, Josh, with this back?
Wow.
Yeah, it's something else, isn't it? So, nonetheless, Irving will start off with the ball in their first possession at their own 26-yard line. Quarterbacking for them will be Christian Garcia, or rather, Christian Garcia, the signal caller, with a pistol formation, basically. Receivers split to either side, and they hand it to the first back through, going over right tackle to about the 25-yard line, maybe the 26. Looked like he might have gotten 3 yards out of that.
Yeah. Running the ball is going to be crucial this game on both sides. You run the ball, you control the clock.
Yeah, Michael Coley and Antonio Franklin. And Franklin, a big performance last week, 291 yards on the ground and 3 touchdowns in that contest. So second and call it 8, a gain of 2. One back set this time. Receivers split to either side, 2 to each side, as Garcia goes down deep down the right sideline,
He's got a stretch for that.
intended for his receiver, Keyshawn Mitchell, but overthrown over there. And Mitchell defended over there by Bryce Atkins and Bryce Vandermeulen. Killian Bresnahan also playing back a bit, and Jacob Murray.
I don't know how you're seeing that right now.
I've got to revert to the good stuff here. Talking about that right there.
Third and medium.
So, shotgun formation, 3rd and 8, and Garcia back to pass again. Throws right side, picked off by one hand at the 32. Coming down the near sideline to the 20, the 10-5 touchdown with the one-handed snag and pick 6.
That is not the way you want to start this
Over
game.
there was Killian Bresnahan. And Bresnahan, whose father was in Brazil a few weeks ago listening. If he's still down there, he'd be proud of his son tonight, making an incredible athletic play.
That was nice. He read it really well. Went up, went and got it.
Frog-handed that. And centers on to try the extra point with Deion Foster to hold. So Irving trying to establish the run early, but then they go to the pass, an incomplete pass on 2nd and an interception. That was a disaster for them on 3rd, and center's extra point is up and good. And just like that, not 49 seconds into the game, Coppell takes a 7-0 lead. We'll take a break and come back in a moment. You're listening to Coppell Cowboy Football on Champion Sports Radio.
Tired of only spending time as a family huddled around the TV? Would you like to enjoy some culture with your loved ones without breaking the bank? Then let me introduce you to the Greater Dallas Youth Orchestra. The GDYO provides music education and performance opportunities for musically talented youth, but this is no kids' concert. The GDYO comprises 7 different ensembles made up of over 425 talented musicians ages 8 to 18, representing more than 50 communities in North Texas. You won't believe how amazing these ensembles sound until you hear it for yourself. So join them for one of their concerts at the Meyerson Symphony Center or Dallas City Performance Hall. For more information on how to make a donation, as well as a listing of upcoming GDYO concerts, visit gdyo.org. And if you know a talented young musician interested in an unbelievable experience, auditions take place in the spring. Connect with the Greater Dallas Youth Orchestra on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and at gdyo.org.
Back at Irving School Stadium in Coppell, out of the gates early thanks to a big defensive play. A 32-yard interception return by Killian Bresnahan, and Adam Sanders is teed up ready to kick off and boot it away back to Antonio Franklin if he kicks it deep, and he is kicking it deep, and it's Franklin that's going to take it just about a yard from the back line and go to a knee. And so Irving will have it 1st and 10 at their own 25. And Coach De La Torre, as you heard in the pregame interview, wanting to establish the run and try to go with what brought them here. And even though they have some talented receivers that they can stretch the field, and Coach McBride admitted as much, Josh, early in his pregame interview, that's just Frank Garcia didn't connect.
No.
Success, not with the black and gold recipient. He is in the shotgun, 1 back set, 2 receivers split to the right side. Ball right between the hash marks, and they try to go on the ground with it to Franklin, but the Coppell swarming defense, they're all over them pretty quickly.
The D-line standing there, line straight up.
John Harubin and Eric Wilhelm in on that stop there. And Coppell across the front, Harubin and Colin Zakachka and Eric Wilhelm, and Solomon Thomas, the big defensive end, on the left side. And sometimes Coppell will morph into that 5-0 defense and cram about 9 in the box, and they look like they're feigning blitz now. Shotgun formation, 2 backs split to the side, actually an I-back formation to the side of Garcia, and he hands off to the second back through Franklin, and not much there again. It's Coppell's D shoring it up, and here comes Solomon Thomas having to come off for a moment. I'm not sure if he's got helmet trouble or what happened there. And Thomas will also play some offense. He'll play fullback down in goal line sets as well. So Irving facing 3rd and 10. And joining Garcia in the backfield is Antonio Franklin, and also a back split to his left. Kind of an awkward split back formation. And Garcia fakes the read. Now is being pressured and rolls out right, looking downfield, throws, had a man on the run,
right to the hand.
and could not connect with his intended receiver, Chase Goodall. And Goodall is been a go-to guy along the course of the season for Christian Garcia.
That was a stretch play, but if it's the hands, you got to come down with it.
Yeah, you definitely do. And Goodall not able to make it, so that's a 3 and out there. And had the interception not occurred previously on the first possession, that would have been a 3 and out as well. And back to punt the ball, standing back at his own 11-yard line for Irving. Looks like Keyshawn Mitchell, if I'm reading the number right, and I may not be. That may actually be, check it, Alfredo Molina. And his punt goes out of bounds at about almost the midfield stripe. So a punt of less than 24 yards there for Irving. And so Coppell comes up with good field position here, Josh, as a result. 1st and 10. And Coppell, we didn't get to see them on offense yet, even though they have a 7-0 lead, thanks to a 32-yard interception return by Killian Bresnahan. But they like to put it on the ground a lot. And between Gavin McDaniel and Charles West, and even Brandon Rice. Brandon Rice, Josh, is their third-string running back.
Really?
He didn't play last week, and he scored 8 touchdowns and 350 yards in 3 games in district play.
See, when I hear something like that, all I can think of is they must have a decent O-line.
And taking the direct snap is Charles West, spinning out of tackles at the 40, at the 38, inside the 35, all the way down to the 32-yard line. A nice gain of 16 yards for Charles West on first down. And just like that, Coppell moves the sticks. And first downs brought to you by Plumbing's First Responders, Mr. Reuter DFW, on the web at mrreuterdfw.com.
Yeah, their linemen were 5-10 yards down the field blocking for him. Man, you got a good first down.
This time in the shotgun is Skylar Bonneau, the quarterback, and he is sweeping right to the tailback McDaniel. And McDaniel breaking tackles as he crosses the 25, inside the 20, all the way to the 18-yard line. So a nice bit of running there of 14 yards. A 16-yard gain and a 14-yard gain on the ground from West and McDaniel on back-to-back plays. So Irving a little bit on their heels.
Looking a little tired already. Hands on the hips. That's a big key right there.
That's not what you want in the first 3 minutes of the game, basically. And it's Bonneau in the shotgun, looking left, throws over the middle, caught by his tight end target, Blake Mahon. And Mahon, the big 6'6", 225-pound senior, takes it inside for an 8-yard pass play gain.
It's a big target.
Yes, he is. All the way, to the 10-yard line. And Coppell knocking on the touchdown door again with a 7-0 lead already. Offset eye behind Bonneau under center, and he runs the sweep toss play to Brandon Rice, who we were talking about. And Rice does get enough for the first down, a gain of about 2.5 to the 8-yard line. That is just enough to move the sticks. And, yeah, Rice, Josh, this guy could start for any number of these teams in the district, and he's third string here. And they even inserted James McCray last week, and that guy looked dynamite as a fourth string back against Louisville. Straight eye back formation behind Bonneau, tight end to the right side. Bonneau bootlegging out, looking left, throwing toward the end zone, got a man, and it's incomplete. And that one stretches just outside of the hands of the intended receiver, and I believe
Connor Williams.
That was actually...
Was it?
This is difficult to see, but it was big. Connor Williams, good eye. Sometimes it's Josh Fink, and this Jackson Pollock thing that I'm looking at the players on is tough. And Mayon goes in motion right to left this time. Straight high back formation again. Sweep toss left side to Charles West. Makes a stutter step move. Now cuts back inside to the 5 to the 3. He is stood up there as he gets to about the 2-yard line by the Irving Tigers. And Irving now putting Coppell in a third down situation. And it looked like it might be a formality the way Coppell moved the ball down the field pretty easily to the 10 or inside.
If Irving,
the red zone deep.
Irving wants to get some momentum, they're going to need to stop right here.
Indeed. Clock under 7.5 to play here in the opening quarter. Coppell with a 7-0 lead and a 3rd and goal. Don't believe they can get a first down again. No, because they got it at the 8. So Bonneau under center gives to Rice. Straight up the middle. Rice powers his way in for the Cowboy touchdown. And Coppell goes up on top 13-0 with a point after attempt to come by Adam Centers.
Coppell looks really physical up front. Their front 5 are getting it done.
It is a very physical team, and that they have muscled most of the teams they have played. Foster to hold the extra point, Centers to try to boot it through, and he is perfect. Right through the uprights, and that gives Coppell a 14-0 lead with 7:10 to play here in the opening quarter. We'll take a break and come back in a moment. You're listening to Champion Sports Radio. It's Coppell Cowboy football.
Just like every parent, you want the best for your child. While you want your child to be healthy and to enjoy participating in sports, you may also have concerns about their abilities and possible injuries. This is where Velocity Sports Performance can help. Whether your child wants to be the star of the team or just wants a little more playing time, Velocity Sports Performance can help your young athletes reach their goals. Visit their Coppell location at 801 Hammond Street near Bethel Road and Freeport Parkway, or visit them online at velocitysp.com. Become a better athlete today at Velocity Sports Performance.
For some high school seniors, achieving excellence goes beyond top grades, and AXA wants your help in recognizing them. Up to 12 DFW area students will receive a $2,000 AXA Achievement Community Scholarship, and one senior in Texas will receive a scholarship worth up to $25,000. Do you know a local high school senior who has excelled at a job, sport, community project, or other extracurricular activity? They may be eligible for an AXA Achievement Community Scholarship. For more details, contact Thomas Lee at AXA Advisors, 972-455-9114.
And Adam Centers' kickoff goes deep into the end zone as usual, and Irving will start off 1st and 10 at their own 25 again. Welcome back here to Irving School Stadium. Barry Probst and Josh Vernon with you this evening, where the Coppell Cowboys have opened up a 14-0 lead early on the Irving Tigers. And Josh, we were talking offline there during the break about Coppell's only loss to the Allen Eagles. If they win this game tonight, they may face another formidable set of Eagles in DeSoto. As it is, Christian Garcia in the shotgun. Man goes in motion. I believe that is Michael Coley, and Garcia flings the ball out his way on a quick toss to the right side and trying to get Coley sprung free for some yardage there.
If they can get the receivers to block like that, those quick little outs can,
they
can add up.
Coley with some speed, and Garcia trying to hit him in stride to give him a head start. A gain of only 2 as he makes it to the far sideline.
Stepped out of bounds, I guess.
Yeah.
Looks like he got about 4, but I guess he stepped out of bounds.
Yeah, he stepped out just about 2 yards after the completion. 2nd and 8. And they go with that kind of odd formation again. One back to his side and one stagger to his right. And they are running the sweep toss to Franklin, who reverses field as he gets to the 20 and tries to make something out of what looked like a big loss. And as he races back in reversing field, he is met by a bunch of Coppell Cowboys, including Troy Parker, Bo Anderson, Killian Bresnahan, and also over there to help bottle him up, Elliot Tostrud, the leading tackler on the team.
Notice a little D-line shift there towards the end. It might have, caught some of them Irving offensive linemen off guard, causing the negative 5 yards.
And Solomon Thomas, who's already come off one time, comes over to the sideline holding his chest. He may be hurt and shaken up a little bit again. A loss of 5 on that play. It brings up 3rd and 13. And Garcia in the shotgun. under pressure. Heaves it deep. He's got a couple of men, but it is picked off at the 41-yard line. And coming near side is Bryce von der Meulen trying to get a block, but the block is not there in time. Chris Atkins on the pick, not von der Meulen. And Atkins with a net return of 0, as it turns out, on the pick. But
he had plenty of time to throw the ball, just threw it up, and hopefully the receiver will go make a play.
Yeah, and pretty well contested, and I thought his Irving Tiger receiver was going to come up with that, but
I think he stopped a little too quick.
Yeah, it was and there was kind of a jump ball and kind of favored Atkins on there away from the receiver.
I think if he kept going, kept running, he might have been able to bat it down or even come down with it. But unfortunately, he didn't. And that's 2 interceptions.
Yeah, and Coppell directly turned one of those into points in the opening moment of play, not 40 seconds into the game. They go with an offset eye to the right side and Bonneau under center. 2 receivers to the far side. One comes in motion, left to right as Coppell and play action fake. Bonneau goes downfield. He's going long. He's got a man. Josh Fink. It is tipped and caught by Fink at the 10. 5 breaking a tackle. Touchdown, Josh Fink. Unbelievable play. A fantastic defensive play by Irving High's Kevon Thomas. It looked like he was the one who tipped it. It might have been Keshawn Mitchell. One of those 2 defenders back there tipped it. It looked like they were making a great defensive play. And they
perfect
did.
Position, batted the ball down, just happened to be at the right place at the right time.
Well, and, Coppell had one of these earlier just like that. I believe it was in the game against Flower Mound Marcus. They same thing. A defender tipped it, and it went into the hands of I believe it was Fink, as a matter of fact, the same receiver that caught that and turned it into points. And so Coppell with a 60-yard scoring strike here.
First quarter.
In the first quarter. We will take a break and come back in a moment. You're listening to Coppell Cowboy Football on ChampionSportsRadio.com.
For the SAT or ACT? Follow My Test Answers on Twitter and Facebook for free solutions to official test questions. Got a question of your own? Send a message to My Test Answers and get a response for free. Got more than one question? Don't worry, we'll answer those too. With over a decade of experience in helping students prepare for standardized tests, the experts at My Test Answers will get you the answers you want whenever you need it. My Test Answers, problems solved.
Welcome back to Irving School Stadium, and to say it's a wild one so far would be an understatement, Josh, but it's been a one-sided wild one because Coppell, the beneficiary of all the crazy plays so far.
Yeah, if you're Irving, they try to establish the run early, and they didn't quite go that well. They try to throw in the air, and they got 2 interceptions so far, so they're going to have to put something together if they want to stay in this game.
Adam Centers with it teed up again, set to boot it, but he squibs this only to the 35-yard line, and it is pounced on there by the up man of Irving. Looked like Luis Garcia, if I saw the number correctly, which don't quote me on that because I hate to mispronounce the guy's name. It might have been Omar Perez. But
now if you're Irving, you're going to have to put a drive somehow together here and score to stay in this game.
And you wonder what Coach De La Torre said about establishing the run and going with what brought them. They've kind of gotten away from that with a couple of long passes and picks, and can they go back to it now down 3 scores?
It's hard to run the ball when you're 3rd and 10, 3rd and 8. The run of the ball is not being efficient for you.
And then it's hard to, is it wise to keep doing it when you're down 3 scores, or do you have any kind of option to really do it? But they do it on 1st and 10 to Antonio Franklin, a dive over left tackle for a 6-yard gain. So
if I was Irving, I would really try to pick up the tempo right now because that's the one thing that could help them out. Tempo, maybe get the defense a little tired. But I feel like they need to pick it up a little bit. They're kind of
maybe pick up the tempo to keep it on the ground.
Oh, yeah.
Garcia in the shotgun. 1 back set, 2 receivers split to the right, tight end to the right. And on the delayed handoff, he gives it to Franklin, but he is swallowed up by the Cowboy defense. Chris Biggers in on the stop, and that time it was indeed Bryce von der Meulen coming in to make the tackle from his corner position. Yeah. But to this Coppell Cowboy defense and Solomon Thomas, swarming. He's Solomon Thomas back out there at his defensive end position. A huge load, 6'5", 290. Chris Biggers 6'3", 260 across that front. They got some big guys up there that can plug the gaps. And Irving sends 2 guys to the near side over here. Looks like both Austin Parr and Kevin Leva. And the snap goes through the hands of Garcia. He is under duress and going to be sacked way back inside the 25-yard line by Chris Biggers and Eric Wilhelm. That get on him in a big hurry. A huge loss, so it brings up 4th down, and now
a series after bad things.
Yeah, promising start on the drive with a 6-yard gain on 1st down. They went backwards a couple of plays, and now have to punt the ball.
It was a catchable ball. It went right through his hands. A little high, could have been lower, but that's really on the quarterback.
Alfredo Molina takes a head-high snap, a little bit of a rush, and a low line drive kick that barely clears the heads of the players at the line of scrimmage, and it doesn't go just real far either. I think he got a net kick on that of about 23, maybe 20 yards. They may be marking it back a little bit. 23. That's what he had the first time, was a 23-yard punt, but he had a conventional punt the first time, Josh. Yeah. That one was really unconventional, and he was getting pressured from the edge by Akashka.
Yeah, it was a quick little pooch.
So he had to get rid of that quickly as the big Coppell Cowboy set of linemen come out here, including Bill Weber and Brian Behrens.
Playing high school ball, playing college, even arena, it always comes down to the offensive lineman, the D lineman. I feel like, that controls the whole game.
As Charles West takes a handoff right up the middle between those big linemen we mentioned for a gain of about 7 across the 40 to the 38-yard line. And we were mentioning the big set of linemen that Coppell has out there. Kevin Gray and Roger Moe out there, opening big holes for this rushing attack that's been 3-pronged with Charles West, Gavin McDaniel, and Brandon Rice. Beno in the shotgun, gives to West, makes a step left, and then cuts back through the middle. A big hole there. West is wrestled down by Morris Shell III, and there's a gain of 8 all the way to the 30-yard line, so a 1st down for the Coppell Cowboys. First down of the drive is sponsored by Plumbing's First Responders, Mr. Reuter DFW on the web at mrreuterdfw.com. And Beno in the shotgun on 1st and 10 throws left side in the intermediate flat and has a man caught over there right away by Josh Fink at about the 21-yard line, and he falls down and is wrestled down to about the 19. So a gain of about 11 and another 1st down for Coppell.
That was just a quick pitch and toss right there.
Sure was. Blake Mahon coming to the sideline for coaching instructions, and Parker Wilson runs back out there with the play. The fullback ostensibly to provide some lead blocking here as they race to the line quickly. Sweet toss left to West. He makes a cut back inside to the 20-yard line to the 18-yard line before he is brought down at that point. And making the stop along for the Irving Tigers was both Luis Garcia and Ivan Perla. I believe I saw it right. I got sawed off. It's missing a little bit. I'll have to find the continuation of that.
2nd down, 7 yards to go.
And this time Beno in the shotgun with one back to his side, and he fakes a handoff, looks deep, throws, caught around the 3-yard line, and making the grab and crawling to about the 1 was Gavin McDaniel after a nice gain there of 14 yards. They're going to spot him down at the 2, as they're going to say a knee touch there before he could crawl to the 1. So Coppell with 1st and goal at the Tiger 2. And we are still inside a minute and a half to play in the opening quarter with the Cowboys up 3 scores. Beno under center. He's done that more tonight, and he gives to the deep back west, and he has stood up. Great defensive pressure that time by Davius Ballard, making the stop there for the Tigers. And great job, Josh, of Irving to shore it up there right as they're under duress to maybe go down a fourth score.
Yeah, they're definitely going to need that stop. Definitely give them a little momentum, hopefully, and hopefully they can plug up the holes on this next play and do it again. We shall see. Quarter's running out. About 40 seconds left in the quarter.
Brandon Rice and Nick Johnston, the senior tight end, checking in. Yeah, there's about 30 seconds, and a quick give to Rice, and he's over right tackle and barrels in over a couple of defenders for the touchdown. Rice's second touchdown of the night, and the Cowboys on top now, 27-0 inside the first quarter. For Coppell, a fantastic start. For Irving, a nightmarish one.
Yeah, now it's just how the kids are going to respond over to Irving. If they're going to quit, or they're going to, fight it out and, hopefully make something of it.
Sinners boots through the extra point, and Coppell goes on top 28-0. We will take a break and come back with more Coppell Cowboy football on ChampionSportsRadio.com.
The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention estimates that nearly 4 million brain injuries occur every year due to sports in the U.S. They also estimate that 70% of concussions go unreported. Not identifying concussions early can be devastating, especially if the athlete continues to play with symptoms. Catching hard hits fast is critical, and that's why you need the Shockbox Helmet Impact Sensor. The Shockbox is a small sensor that easily attaches to most football, lacrosse, and hockey helmets and instantly sends a signal to a smartphone on the sidelines when the player has taken a hard hit that puts them at higher risk for injury. The free app receives data from the sensor, displays information about the impact, and even walks the user through a concussion assessment. The app also logs symptom and impact data for future medical use. Visit ShopboxDFW.com to learn more about the Shockbox Impact Alert Sensor and determine if it is the right option for your child. Be warned instantly when a player has experienced a head impact that could result in a concussion. Visit ShopboxDFW.com today. ShopboxDFW.com.
Adam Centers with the ball teed up, set to kick it off, and he goes deep this time with it. And it's Michael Coley, just watching the ball sail right over his head for the automatic touchback. And back here at Irving School Stadium, where Coppell has jumped out on top big time of Irving. And Josh, you said it a minute ago before the break, is this the gut check time for the Tigers?
Gut check time is right.
Quit, or do they get that?
I'm interested to see how Del Toro, if he's going to try to run the ball or pass the ball. Neither has really worked out for them yet, so I'm a little curious to see what he has planned.
Yeah, small doses, it's fair to say, have worked out, but they haven't really been able to sustain the success yet.
Yeah, it's hard to win a ball game when you have turnovers.
Garcia in the shotgun, and he gives to Franklin, and looking for a hole, and there's just not one there. As Coppell gets penetration, and Bo Anderson there to gobble him up and bolt him down after maybe a few inches of a loss.
Coppell's D-line is just a little more physical than Irving's up front, five front.
Yeah, and Josh, do you think as the quarter comes to an end here, do you think there's any just too much excitement of Irving that they hadn't been here in a while, and then they're happy to be here, and they just have lost focus?
You have those jitters. That usually goes away after the first play. Yeah. But really, all it comes down to is preparation. If you prepare during the week like you're supposed to, get the film work. Work out, do the little things. It's all about the little things. If you do that, I don't think you should be too nervous about what happens on Friday night. So I think it comes down to preparation.
That is the end of quarter number one. We'll take a quick break and come back for the second quarter. You're listening to Coppell Cowboy Football on ChampionSportsRadio.com.
For all your auto, home, life insurance needs, plus personal customer service right when you need it most, call Agent Josh Workman at 972-317-9630, extension 58782. Since 1912, we here at Liberty Mutual have been helping people live safer, more secure lives. Insurance from a company as responsible as you are. Go Cowboys!
Back at Irving School Stadium, Jack Singley press box across the way as we are in the visitor facility. And Coppell showing blitz. Garcia fakes the handoff, goes left on a quick toss, and with the completion and making his way to the far sideline.
About 5-6 yards on that.
Yeah, with the ball is Michael Coley. A good little catch and run there on the far side of the field side, and Killian Bresnahan coming up to make the stop, but not before Coley can get a 7-yard gain on second down. It's maybe about a 6-yard gain, 3rd and 4.
Those quick plays are, that's 2 times they run that play and it's been successful for them. So maybe you'll see them run it again here in a few plays.
That is something they need to consider. 3 receivers, trips to the left, 1 back set. Garcia in the shotgun. Looks left, under pressure, going to tuck it under and run. Escapes the 1 tackler, Eric Wilhelm, makes his way to the 38-yard line, and by golly, the Irving Tigers have a first down.
That's what they needed.
They really do. In the worst way, they had some 3-and-outs and a couple of picks and just short possessions, Josh, in general.
In this game, confidence is really big. If you start getting a couple turnovers, sometimes they might get down on themselves, and it's all how they react.
Shotgun formation again. Receivers split to the far side on each side, and 1 in the slot, and Garcia delays the handoff and gives it to Franklin, sweeping right. Breaks a tackle at the 39 to the 40, 45, all the way to the midfield stripe goes Antonio Franklin before Bryce Vonsermulen upends him. But that's a gain of 12 there for Antonio Franklin, the guy who had a big week last week.
I got to say, watching this Coppell defense, watching the linebackers, number 44, he has no hesitation to run up there and hit a lineman in the face. He is pretty physical.
Yeah, and I misspoke a while ago. Antonio Franklin had 5 touchdowns in that game last week. I shortchanged him. I said he had 4. 2 receivers split to the left and 1 to the right, and they give it to fake the handoff to Franklin. Garcia keeps, tucks it under, races left side to the 45, 40-yard line. Well, they're going to give him the 41.
They're rolling now.
But 3 straight positive gains for the Irving Tigers. That one a gain of 9, and this is what the Tigers need to be able to move it. And
maybe they're getting a little settled down now. Maybe nerves calm. Just go out there and play football.
Yeah, and remove some doubt from themselves that they might have had the first couple of possessions. Tight end, tight to the right. Receiver in the slot on the right. Ball on the left hash. Shotgun formation. And Garcia fakes the handoff, keeps again over left tackle. He is stood up by about 4 Cowboys, but he does move the sticks with the 3-yard gain inside the 40 to the 37-yard line. So 3 first downs on the drive for the Irving Tigers. This is the best they've looked, obviously, Josh, in the game tonight. Now they go with 2 receivers again, split to the right. 1 back set again, tight end on the right. Garcia fakes the handoff, looks deep, goes deep, got a man all the way, and it is incomplete, but flags fly, and they are going to get the Coppell defender over there, Killian Bresnahan or Troy Parker, for pass interference.
I think he grabbed him a little bit.
Well, they totally impeded the path of Keyshawn Mitchell, as Mitchell had to kind of come back for the ball, and I thought it was Bresnahan that ran into him, wasn't even really playing the ball at all.
Turned.
Yeah.
He turned at the very last second.
But, Josh, in all seriousness, he did save a touchdown. He really did.
It's better to get a penalty than a touchdown.
And we talked about that, Jimmy Christopher and I, a few weeks ago. It's like we think that maybe players aren't taught to go grab the guy, as much. Maybe
growing up, I never really had a coach tell me, hey, if you're in this situation, it's better to get the penalty than give up a huge, a sack or a touchdown. And now looking back on it, it might have helped me a couple times.
And not just you, it would have helped a lot of people a lot of times like that right there. Yeah. That's if that's a negative play, a penalty, it's also a positive play because it's a touchdown saver.
And that's just also about the players, preparing and understanding the game,
Yeah. And probably that kind of school of thinking doesn't really come along till they're seniors. They're not really – you're thinking in a fundamental aspect and too quickly to really have that compute along the way. Very little yardage gained on that first down by the Tigers. It's a 1-yard gain call. It's 2nd and 9. 3 receivers split to the right. Ball on the left hash mark. Tight end on the right. And Garcia looking to throw it right quickly to Keshawn Mitchell. Caught at the 23. Makes his way inside of the 20 to the 15. Near side all the way to about the 10-yard line if he got there.
Penalty flag. Must be holding maybe.
Let's see where this flag was thrown.
I think it was a holding on the receiver.
Coach Joe McBride is very animated over here on the near sideline. And yes, you're correct, Josh. I couldn't even see where the flag was thrown, but that is what they're going to call. And not only are they going to call it, but they're going to call it from deep down near the line to gain, Josh, because they're only going to mark them back to the 24-yard line.
Penalties, man, they'll hurt you.
They will, and it does keep them from getting the first down, but at least it wasn't from back in the backfield where it was could have been 8 yards further back even. So this time Irving with a short set on the line and 4 receiver set, 2 split to either side. Garcia in the shotgun. Coppell showing blitz, and they feign back. They peel back. They throw it over the middle to Keshawn Mitchell, caught at the 5, trying to spin away from Chris Atkins to the 2, but Atkins drags him down, and Mitchell maybe slow to get up. He may have gotten quite a pop from Chris Atkins. But that is a gain of 23 yards all the way to the 2-yard line as them
showing that blitz kind of hurt him a little bit.
Yeah. They tend to check the health of Keshawn Mitchell and see if he's okay. Does the training staff of Irving. Comes out.
If they can capitalize on those little things like that, they'll have opportunities to make big plays like that.
Yeah, indeed they will. Coming up at halftime, we'll have the Velocity Sports Performance halftime report, and we'll get you up to date on some of the stats of this game and the scores from around the area as playoff football begins, in earnest last night, but also tonight. And I may have said Keshawn Mitchell. That may be Michael Coley, actually, that was the recipient of that catch. Either way, if it was Coley or Mitchell, they've got Irving set up with 1st and goal at the 2-yard line. Full house backfield for the Tigers. The deep back is Franklin. He takes the handoff. A flag flies before the play gets underway. And I'm not sure if there were 12 men on the field for one team or the other. That flag was thrown in the Coppell backfield in the secondary deep in the end zone. So I did not count up the guys.
I count 12, I think.
You counted 12 white shirts? Coppell in their white helmets tonight. They've worn them a few times tonight. White jerseys, visiting red pants.
What did he say? It was against Irving.
It was against Irving.
Thought I counted 12.
I think it's a legal procedure because they moved him back to the 7. They might have not had enough men on the line. But the back judge did throw it, so that wipes out a touchdown that Irving would have had. And Irving in their home black jerseys, black trousers, and gold helmets, and black socks. Just about everybody on the Tiger team with black shoes, whereas Coppell, it's a mixed bag. A lot of them wear white shoes, kind of kick it old school 70s style.
Some of them get spatted. I used to get spatted in high school and college. Well, towards college, I had to get taped and spatted. My ankles are so bad.
It's a rugged feeling, huh?
Oh, yeah.
And Franklin and the 2 linemen for, I believe, if Agunda, one of the linemen, talking to the official there about what happened and who wasn't set and why. Man goes in motion this time, left to right. Garcia takes a snap. Looks to throw back across the field in the middle and deep in the end zone.
Down.
And another flag down as his intended receiver.
I wonder if it's holding on the running back.
It is. They are pointing Irving's way, and it is holding. It may be on the running back, but it is definitely holding.
I saw he try to cut the legs, and I think he might have grabbed the leg maybe.
Good eye. So 2 penalties in a row for Irving after they thought they'd hit pay dirt. An illegal procedure penalty. and then a holding call have moved the Tigers back to the 17-yard line.
Just can't seem to get it yet.
They were on the move pretty furiously there on this drive.
Yeah.
It started back at about their own 25. Garcia in the shotgun again with Franklin back there, and he gives to Franklin. And Franklin just races through defenders all the way inside the 10 to the 9. Great gain there and great quick hitter by Antonio Franklin. Yeah, 8-yard gain for him, and it's going to be 2nd and goal from just inside the 10 at around the 9. Tigers come out with a double tight end set, and actually tight end on the left and 3 receivers and a one-back set. Garcia fakes that handoff, keeps, bounces off one tackle, back inside.
Maybe a yard or two.
Stumbles inside the 10 to maybe the 8-yard line. Maybe the 7, depending on the spot. Not a sizable gain there, but it's going to be 3rd and goal from that point. You pass here 7 yards out, or do you try to run it again?
For here, I say you have to pass. You're going to have to. It's, the run game hasn't been they picked up a little bit, but they're going to have to pass the ball right here, in my opinion.
You got Michael Coley back out there on the left side, and Garcia fakes the handoff, looks over the middle, throws, and it is caught by Michael Coley for an Irving Tiger touchdown. So the Tigers overcome a couple of penalties and get on the board in spite of that with 7:37 to play here in the second quarter. It is now Coppell 28 and Irving 6. Trying to make it a 3-score game.
They gave Christian a few. They've been giving him a little time to throw the ball. If he can just make a little, better decisions, or the receivers making some better plays, it could be a little different ball game right now.
Lined up in that swinging gate formation, and
they're going to go for it.
They may.
He's going to get it.
He's going to hand off on a quick snap, and they get the 2. So Garcia takes the quick snap, kind of caught Coppell off guard, and they convert the 2. It's now 28-8. So Irving back within 20. We'll take a break and come back in a moment with more Coppell Cowboy action. You're listening to Coppell Cowboy Football on ChampionSportsRadio.com.
Just like every parent, you want the best for your child. While you want your child to be healthy and to enjoy participating in sports, you may also have concerns about their abilities and possible injuries. This is where Velocity Sports Performance can help. Whether your child wants to be the star of the team or just wants a little more playing time, Velocity Sports Performance can help your young athletes reach their goals. Visit their Coppell location at 801 Hammond Street near Bethel Road and Freeport Parkway, or visit them online at velocitysp.com. Become a better athlete today at Velocity Sports Performance.
Welcome back to Irving School Stadium. Coppell on top 28-8 after Irving scored a 7-yard touchdown pass from Christian Garcia to Michael Coley and went for 2 and got it. Coppell Cowboy Football brought to you by J. Macklin's Grill. Chef-inspired, reservations not required, on the web at jmacklinsgrill.com. And by Anamias. Find out why this Coppell Mexican restaurant and caterer is considered tops in the Dallas dining scene at anamias.com. And this kickoff by Irving High's Ivan Soriano, thank you there. It sails to about the 2. Takes a golf shot like one of your 9-irons, Josh.
I don't know about that.
And nonetheless, it kind of trickles back into the end zone for a touchback. And that is where Coppell will start leading 28-8. You've got Parker Wilson. Well, you did have Charles. Charles West is going to go out there with Gavin McDaniel. So a 3-back set. No, they're going to split McDaniel out wide to the right. And they do that from time to time. He's mainly an I-back, but they'll split him out wide, and he's on the flanker slot right now. And they're going to run the reverse to him from West. As coming near side is McDaniel to the 25-30, gets a block at the 32 to the 40. Back inside across midfield and down to the 40 goes McDaniel. A huge run of 35 yards on the reverse play from Charles West to Gavin McDaniel. And we called him an I-back and said he splits outside occasionally, but they used his running skills there.
I think Irving is just thinking they're going to run the ball, try to run the clock out, but instead Coppell threw him a little fast one, threw him a little curveball.
Yeah, he did some running and then some, huh? Well, and Parker Wilson kind of in there kind of led you to believe that, the fullback. He's not in there now. Split backs to the side of Bonneau, and he gives to McDaniel across right tackle. Big hole across the 35-30, inside the 25, all the way down to the 21-yard line goes Gavin McDaniel. So 2 big runs on consecutive plays by Gavin McDaniel. A 35-yard run on a reverse and a 19-yard carry over right tackle that he kind of cuts it back inside the middle of the field.
Coppell's O-line, they look a little athletic. They move pretty good side to side. It's kind of hard for them Irving DTs to get off their blocks.
Big, muscular men, and Roger Moe, and big.
Back in the day, it used to be the huge, linemen. Nowadays, you get the a little smaller, still big, but more athletic type.
Right.
They're looking for a lot of that nowadays.
Kevin Gray, a big 260-pound senior lineman, and Roger Moe, a 250-pound.
Want guys quick on
lineman.
the feet.
They are that. There's actually a penalty on Coppell there, and we neglected to tell you the first down brought to you by Plumbing's First Responders, Mr. Reuter DFW, on the web at mrreuterdfw.com. So 1st and 15 after the walk-off against Coppell. Back split to either side of Bonneau again, tight end left side. And they give to McDaniel. He squeezes through the middle and then comes back out to the near side, reversing field across the 25 to the 20. And he gets inside the 20 to the 19. So not just the original line of scrimmage there, but he picks up a gain of about 6. What it looked like Irving might have him bottled up inside for a moment, Josh, and he just slithers through. He's got a lot of speed.
No Coppell. They're just relying on their front 5, front 6 to get the job done, and, it's looking that way.
Josh Fink in there as a receiver. He's got a touchdown catch tonight on a crazy play. But no, under center, Blake Mahon goes in motion. But no, long snap count. Sweep toss to West to the right side. Hurdles a tackler at about the 18 to the 15. Breaks tackles to the 10, 5 up the middle. Touchdown, Charles West.
There's going to be a holding call. It's coming back.
Oh, there sure is. There is a flag down at the 22, and this one will be wiped out.
Running back's not happy about that one.
No, a very athletic play made by Charles West and hurdling the bodies really on the field at about the 18-yard line, and it goes for naught.
That's pretty athletic.
Yeah.
Almost looks like me out there.
And me about 5 years ago. I don't know that.
For you that can't see us out here, there's about 6'2", 305 pounds, and you can imagine somebody hurtling over somebody.
Yeah, you wouldn't try to hurdle him. You just bulldoze right there.
Exactly. Do it old school.
So Bonneau in the shotgun, and 2nd and 20. 5-step drop, backpedaling, and the screen toss to West at the 30, caught to the 25. Down the numbers alley to the 15, 10, 5. Touchdown goes Charles West.
That was a perfect executed play.
Yeah, very well executed and designed play on the screen pass. Bonneau sucked him in with about a 7-yard backpedal and then just kind of wobbled it over the top.
Down the field. There was 2 key blocks by, let's see, Seth Margolis, the center. He went out there and made a pretty good block.
He's known for that.
Yeah.
he really is. Center's on to boot through an extra point with 5:19 to play. And his kick is up and good as usual. And it is 35-7 Coppell. 5:19 to play before half. We'll take a break and come back in a moment with more Coppell Cowboy football on ChampionSportsRadio.com.
You make plans for just about everything. The weekend, vacation, going out to dinner. But have you created a plan for the rest of your life? Start your financial strategy today with AXA Advisors. Call Thomas Lee at 972-455-9114. That's 972-455-9114. Securities offered through AXA Advisors, LLC, 212-314-4600. Member FINRA, SIPC.
The Coppell Cowboys on top, 35-7 with 5:19 to play here before halftime. Brought to you by Velocity Sports Performance. Velocity Sports Performance can help your young athletes reach their goals. Visit their Coppell location at 801 Hammond Street near Bethel Road and Freeport Parkway. or visit them online at velocitysp.com. Become a better athlete today at Velocity Sports Performance. Adam Centers with the ball teed up at the 40 and ready to boot it strongly, and he does so. And this one sails 6 yards deep in the end zone, and I tell you, Michael Coley thought about bringing it out and then thought better
saw
of
about
it.
5 white jerseys coming after him.
And he probably saw Coach De La Torre and Todd
I'm sure you could hear him.
Elliott over there. On the sideline. Todd Allen, rather, on the sideline saying, no, do not bottle us up back there.
Almost 5 minutes left in the second quarter. Irving's got to put something together here.
The Coppell Cowboys with all their starters still in there and bearing down. They have been 5-0 defensive formation. 2 linebackers in a little bit tight, not too tight, as Garcia fakes the handoff and breaks a tackle across the left side of the 35-40, and Garcia with a big gain all the way across the 40 to the 45-yard line in Irving territory. So a 20-yard gain for Christian Garcia on the keeper on first down. So the Tigers, previous drive, they get a touchdown. They've got some confidence now, Josh, and they're kind of moving the ball pretty well.
They are. If they can just eliminate the small little mistakes, the penalties, you'd have a little more chance of scoring the ball.
Going from our left to right here, midway through the second quarter. And Garcia looks right, now going to tuck it under, and throws, caught up around the 38-yard line and really close to the line of scrimmage. Thought he might have even stepped over for a second, but a great play by Christian Garcia to step up into the pocket under pressure and throw perfectly to his receiver.
He knew he was going to take a hit, and he took it.
So taking a timeout now is Coppell. They want to talk this over. 5:03 to play. We'll take a quick timeout and come back. You're listening to Coppell Cowboy Football on ChampionSportsRadio.com.
Looking for the perfect place to catch dinner before a Coppell home game? Then head over and check out the best mouth-watering, lip-smacking, finger-licking, great-tasting barbecue there is at Dickey's Barbecue Pit. Whether it's takeout, catering, or dining in, Dickey's Barbecue Pit will deliver some of the best barbecue you've ever had, and be sure to round up the whole family and stop by on Sundays when kids eat free. Dickey's Barbecue Pit is located at 801 South Denton Tap Road, just north of Beltline. Dickey's Barbecue Pit, slow smoked and served fast since 1941.
Did you know you could save on your auto insurance by switching to Liberty Mutual? Plus, you'll get 24/7 claims assistance, convenient payment options, and personal service right when you need it most. Contact Josh Workman, 972-317-9630, extension 58782 for a free, no-obligations quote. Go Cowboys!
First and 10 for the Irving Tigers. Flag on the play is
like another holding call.
The
good run, though. It needed it, and then the penalty.
Quick run to the left side. Got some yards, but it's probably going to be wiped out. Hey, called the numbers out. I didn't know they called the numbers out unless it was like a disqualification play. You know, I thought targeting. Well, for high school, I didn't think they called the number unless it was something that made the player disqualified.
Well, I know when I was in high school, our coach wanted to know what number it was.
Your coach wanted to, but would the official announce it for everybody in the stand? I didn't think they did.
They have.
Wow.
They'll call you out.
No problem for the official, right?
Oh, yeah.
Garcia fakes the handoff and stumbles. He had a well-designed play, and he looked like it was going to result in a good gain maybe, but he stumbled on the turf monster right at the midfield stripe and loses about 4, so it's going to be second and a ton. Almost a quarter of the field needed, or a fifth of the field needed, rather.
He's running those read plays, and they're kind of getting jammed up in the middle, not getting any push, so it's kind of he has to keep it every time, and he stumbled. Unfortunately, he stumbled that time, but they're just not getting any movement up front at all.
At all, that's right. Second and 21. Garcia in the shotgun trips to the near side. And he gives the handoff to the tailback who tried to break one tackle and was wrestled down one-handed by Colin Zakachka over there. And on the carry for the Tigers was Yandis Hall. Yandis Hall. And that one only got about, resulted in a loss of a yard, actually. Akashka got him behind the line.
And it looks like Coppell might be getting ready to put their second string, some of their second stringers, and I see 75, Glenn Williams, 6'7", 335 pounds.
Big rush as Garcia's under pressure. Heaves it deep down the sideline. Caught. Is it caught in bounds? No. The side judge over there at about the 24 waved his arms.
I almost thought it would be an interception.
It was a beautiful catch, but just about a half a yard out of bounds, it appeared. So that will bring up 4th and 22, and the Tigers will choose to punt it away as Alfredo Molina goes back to boot it away. And back to receive it, probably Troy Parker. It is at the 20-yard line. Some Tiger players go in motion to kind of shore it up on the right side of the line. Coppell not showing block. They're showing the return put on. Head high snap. A little bit of a rush from the side. Molina kicks it away from Parker. Parker lets it sail over his head. Fields it on the bounce at the 8. Now comes up to the 10, 15, 20. Looks for a hole. Has one to the right. 20, 25. Racing right side of the 30. And walloped at the 34-yard line. And I think that was Molina, the punter, who put a hit tantamount to a linebacker.
You don't see that every day.
On little Troy Parker. He got blasted. A great return of 27 yards for Parker, but he paid the price at the end of it.
Usually if our kicker has to make the play, we're having our fingers crossed.
I tell you what, Irving's defensive coordinator might want to get him in there. Is it George Howell, I believe, wants to get him in there and get him some reps at linebacker and safety.
Get him in there.
That was a vicious hit.
Put me in, Coach.
1st and 10 for Coppell at their own 35. Good field position again. They give it to McDaniel. Starts right now, comes back over the left side, and he's going to be pulled down right as he crosses the 35 by one of the linebackers for Irving. I believe it was Luis Garcia. Also Omar Perez in on the stop there after about a 3-yard gain, and that wasn't really bad defense there by Irving, especially since Josh McDaniel has been able to turn that thing really quickly on him tonight.
Yeah.
This time, Bonneau under center. Blake Mahon goes in motion. One back set. Bonneau gives to West, and guys are hanging on for dear life. And Margolis over there may have been trying to pile drive him a little bit further. Not able to do so too much. It was Seth Margolis. Runs about 220, and they push West forward to about the 43-yard line, and it'll bring up 3rd and 2. And we do have a replay screen up here that I can barely see unless I really get my ostrich neck out there. 3rd and 2 for the Cowboys. And the first drive of this series, they're up 35-7. Sweep toss coming near side is West to the 40. Lowers his shoulder to the 48. Runs over Michael Coley at about the 50, and Coley drags him out of bounds as he crosses the 50 into Tiger territory at about the 46, but not before.
The outside linebacker right there, Morris Shell III, he gave up containment right there, which allowed them to get the first down on the outside.
11-yard gain, and the first down's, of course, brought to you by Plumbing's First Responders, Mr. Reuter DFW, on the web at mrreuterdfw.com. West back there having a great night tonight. He's the deep back, one back set, play action fake. Bonneau rolls out right, throws. It's going to be incomplete, up at around the 35-yard line.
You got to stretch for that one.
Diving for it on the little stretch play was Fink. Like he was going to maybe be able to come up with it, or was it Connor Williams out there? Couldn't get his Fink. Fink already with a touchdown catch tonight off a tip of a defended play by either Kashawn Mitchell or Kevon Thomas. One of those guys Couldn't tell which tipped it, and Fink pulled it in behind him and took it in. McDaniel goes in motion. Ball on the left hash. Quick snap. And Bonneau fires it right. Caught at the 50. Running to the 45. Down the sideline to the 40. And inside the 40 to about the 38-yard line with the ball on the quick grab for Coppell is Obi Obialo, the 6', 180-pound sophomore, who doesn't get his number dialed too much, but when he does, he's usually a pretty good receiver and gets a lot of green space with it. 3 receivers set, 2 backs, split to the side of Bonneau. He's in the shotgun. He rolls out left, looks downfield. Now he's going to tuck it under and run. Reverse field, breaks a tackle, reverses again. Coming near side to the 35, 30. Down to the 20-yard line, and he's upended by Kashawn Mitchell at that point, but not before some improvisational running by Skylar Bonneau.
Combination of poor tackling and being an athlete.
Yeah, 14-yard gain and a Coppell Cowboy first down. Wow. Yeah, that really was. I mean, you can only coach breaking tackles so much, right? Bonneau, 3-step drop, looking right, now fires right, caught at the 22, coming back into the middle of the field and looking for running room, still breaking tackles to the 20, to the 10, to the 5, strolling in the end zone for the touchdown is Charles West.
Got to be able to tackle.
And it was some broken tackles there, but it also looked like some neutralization that didn't really take place, Josh. I mean, they weren't getting hands on him. They were just kind of trying to neutralize him, and he was getting blocks to come to his aid.
Running the ball, that's smart, man. You follow your big guys. Follow your blockers.
38.1 seconds left in the half, and Adam Centers boots through his 6th extra point of the night. Coppell on top 42-8. We'll take a break and come back in a moment for this frenetic first half. You're listening to Coppell Cowboy Football on ChampionSportsRadio.com.
Daddy? Daddy!
Yes, sweetheart?
What's a router?
It's a tool Daddy uses for plumbing emergencies.
Why?
People get clogged drains, and when that happens, you can't take a shower, you can't do the dishes, you can't do anything.
Mommy would like that. Hey, why do they call you Mr. Rooter?
Because I get to run the company.
Why?
Because Mommy says so. Now, I have to get back to work.
Someone has a plugged up drain.
For some high school seniors, achieving excellence goes beyond top grades, and AXA wants your help in recognizing them. Up to 12 DFW area students will receive a $2,000 AXA Achievement Community Scholarship, and one senior in Texas will receive a scholarship worth up to $25,000. Do you know a local high school senior who has excelled at a job, sport, community project, or other extracurricular activity? They may be eligible for an AXA Achievement Community Scholarship. For more details, contact Thomas Lee at AXA Advisors, 972-455-9114.
Back at Irving School Stadium, Barry Brooks and Josh Vernon with you as Adam Centers pooches a high kick fielded at the 10, coming to the 15, 20, big hole down the sideline, 20, 30, 40, and met head on at about the 45-yard line with
Adam
the ball.
Centers.
By Adam Centers. So our kickers tonight making a great collection of tackles, are they not, Josh?
Yes, they are. That was pretty incredible.
And I'm not sure
6
who
foot, 180 pounds.
the kick returner was on that. It may have been Austin Parr. I'm not.
It looked like he had a chance to maybe get away with it, and the punter Adam Centers kind of came out of nowhere and gave him a little pop.
Yeah, they show it on the replay, and they say great run, and it was that, and it was also a tremendous hit.
Well, when you see kickers and punters like that, that's a good hit. You got to give him credit.
Garcia in the shotgun, and he gives to Franklin, who's just swallowed by Chris Biggers, and Bo Anderson for no gain. So the Irving offensive line not able to open the holes that time for Franklin to run through, and he loses one. They give him progress back to the 45-yard line. But
up the middle, they're not having much success. Maybe if they run that read option, maybe to the outside a little more, they might find some more holes. But right now they're getting stuffed up the middle. 24.7
seconds left to play before halftime. We'll keep it here, but we want to remind you that Coppell Cowboy Football is brought to you by Jason's Deli. They love fresh food and premium, more natural ingredients. Experience exciting flavors, true freshness, and real taste so you know that you're getting nutrient-filled goodness for your money. Download the Jason's Deli iPhone or iPad app and skip the lines today. Also by Frost Bank. They deliver banking services consistently Texas-style, located at the corner of Denton Tap Road and Sandy Lake in Coppell. And Floss Dental, a new experience in dentistry. Find out more at flossdental.com. So, Josh, we've seen a lot of fireworks tonight by Coppell, a little bit by Irving, and Irving facing a 2nd and 11. Can they get it going again like they had a couple of drives ago?
You know, they're showing little glimpses here and there of good things happening. You got to stop at the little things, penalties, turnovers. That's all the way basics.
Coming up in a moment, we'll have the Velocity Sports halftime report and get you up to date on some scores from around the area here in North Texas. 2nd 11, Garcia under pressure. Collins Akotchka is going to sack him back at the 42. Akotchka not really blocked by anybody. The back didn't take him like you thought he maybe could or should have. Should he not have, Josh?
Yeah, he should have. And I think he made an attempt. I just don't think it was a very good one, maybe.
Shadow block, yeah. A lookout block, maybe. That is going to do it. The clock winds down to 0, and Coppell will storm to the locker room with a 42-8 commanding lead here at halftime. And Irving goes to the locker room under Coach De La Torre to try to regroup and see if they can get the mojo back that they had going late in the half when they got within 28-8. We'll take a break and come back. You're listening to Champion Sports Radio's Coppell Cowboy Football.
For disease control and prevention estimates that nearly 4 million brain injuries occur every year due to sports in the U.S. They also estimate that 70% of concussions go unreported. Not identifying concussions early can be devastating, especially if the athlete continues to play with symptoms. Catching hard hits fast is critical, and that's why you need the Shockbox Helmet Impact Sensor. The Shockbox is a small sensor that easily attaches to most football, lacrosse, and hockey helmets and instantly sends a signal to a smartphone on the sidelines when the player has taken a hard hit that puts them at higher risk for injury. The free app receives data from the sensor, displays information about the impact, and even walks the user through a concussion assessment. The app also logs symptom and impact data for future medical use. Visit ShopboxDFW.com to learn more about the Shockbox Impact Alert Sensor and determine if it is the right option for your child. Be warned instantly when a player has experienced a head impact that could result in a concussion. Visit ShockboxDFW.com today. ShockboxDFW.com.
Welcome back to Irving School Stadium. Barry Probst and Josh Vernon with you here tonight. And Josh, first of all, great having you up here tonight. Thank you so much
for having me.
Joining us in the booth here tonight on Champion Sports Radio as we listen to the Irving High Band, I believe, the Coppell Band, rather, getting ready to play. And both these bands will play, and we'll let you listen to a little bit of that. And we will come back and get you caught up on some scores here in just a moment. You're listening to Coppell Cowboy Football on Champion Sports Radio.
entry on the field, the award-winning Coppell High School Marching Band. The Coppell High School Band is a consistent state marching band finalist. In addition, the Coppell High School Marching Band received the Sumler Cup from the John Philip Sousa Foundation in 2008. The Coppell Band has had more than 300 students selected to the Texas All-State Band and consistently has more gold and silver medals at the Texas State Solo Contest than any other band, choir, or orchestra in the state of Texas. This year, the Coppell High School Marching Band placed 6th at the BOA Super Regional Prelims and won the Outstanding Music caption out of 64 bands at the contest. This is the second time this year that Coppell Band had won the Outstanding Music caption, as they also won it at North Texas BOA Regional Contest in Allen, making them one of only 2 bands in Texas to win the Outstanding Music caption in Texas this year at 2 different BOA contests. Coppell Percussion Section has also been selected as the #1 concert percussion ensemble in the country and will be performing tomorrow at the Percussive Arts Society Conference in Indianapolis, Indiana. The Coppell High School Band is under the field leadership of Head Drum Major Garrett Holmes, Senior Assistant Drum Major Kristen West, and Junior Assistant Drum Major Omar Elmaji. For your halftime entertainment, please welcome the award-winning 2013 Coppell High School Marching Band. Tonight we present for your entertainment a medley of favorites, including Come Out and Play by The Offspring, Time Warp from the Rocky Horror Picture Show, and Land of a Thousand Dances.
Welcome back to Irving School Stadium here at half, where the Coppell Cowboys band plays and entertains the visiting side here, across from the press box, actually. And I would say the Coppell Cowboy faithful tonight, here in big number in red and black, have been quite entertained by the team on the field and the band here right now, Josh, as they have a 42-8 lead.
Yes, they do. They're going to have to come back out and keep going and fighting. Here's some scores earlier. Oh crap! How do you get your phone off? Here we go. Aledo a whopping 56-0 second quarter against Burleson. You got Frisco on top of West Mesquite. That's 23-6. That's the third quarter. Let's see. Sanger is on top. Frisco Lone Star 21-17 second quarter. The Colony is playing Highland Park. Highland Park is on top 17-7. It is the third quarter. You got Ferris versus Princeton, 15-8 Princeton, second quarter. Carrollton Ranchview versus Decatur. Decatur 42-20 right now, second quarter. You got Saginaw versus Denton Guyer. Guyer on top 41-0 second quarter. You got Frisco Wakeland against Mesquite Petite. It's 3-2 third quarter, Mesquite Petite right now. Let's see, Fort Worth Nolan 35-7 against San Antonio St. Anthony. It's second quarter. You got Plano West tied with Jesuits second quarter. But that's a good game going on right now. You got Dallas Christian versus Waco. It's tied up second quarter right now. You got Arlington versus Keller Foster Ridge. It's 10-3 Keller second quarter. As we see right now, Coppell is on top of Irving 42-8. Halftime right now. You got Paris Episcopal against Grapevine Faith Christian. They're up 21-7 against Christian, second quarter. You got Hebron, 17-0 versus Hurst LD Bell. It is also second quarter. McKinney North, 14-0 against Texarkana, Texas. You got Farmersville against Pilot Point, 21-14. Farmersville's up, second quarter. You got Richardson Pierce versus McKinney Boyd. They're down 17-9 in the second quarter. Allen against Lake Highlands, 49-0 second quarter. So they're putting a whooping on them.
Yeah.
Saginaw is taking a beating to Woodrow Wilson, 21-3 second quarter. You got Salina against Gainesville. Gainesville up 24-14 second quarter. Plano against Skyline. Skyline's up by a touchdown, 14-7. It's the second quarter. You got Garland versus Mesquite. Mesquite's up 35-7 right now, second quarter. Frisco Legacy Christian versus Fort Worth Calvary Christian. Frisco's up 14-0. You got Coppers Cove against DeSoto. Coppers is down 41-14. You got Nacogdoches down 18-0 to Mansfield Summit. Denton Ryan's on top, 27-14. I played them in college, in high school. We lost to them. Let's see, junior year, the first round playoffs.
It's a good, strong team, and to tell you how strong this Coppell team is, just 2 weeks ago they played Denton Ryan and beat Denton Ryan 28-3.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So I mean, you can tell Coppell went on strings of 45-3 versus Flower Mound, 41-3 versus Marcus, and then 28-3 in back-to-back weeks.
That's three strong weeks too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You got Lindell is down to NS 48-3. Your Arlington Seguin is down 23-7 to White House in the second quarter. Mesquite is down to Satch.
Patrick Mahomes, Patrick Mahomes there for White House. Pat Mahomes, the pitcher's son, plays for his quarterback for White House. Yeah, he's dynamite too.
Well, 23-7 against Arlington Seguin, he must be. Texarkana is down 21-14 to Kaufman. Second quarter, Arlington Bowie is down 28-14 to South Lake Carroll. So South Lake Carroll putting the beating in the second quarter right now. You got Marshall is down 21-0 to Wiley. Tied game, Birdville and Trophy Club Byron Nelson.
Yeah, that's a good battle out there.
Yeah. Let's see. I guess that's it. Justin Northwest and Arlington Lamar's tied up first quarter. And,
so a good collection of games right now with some of those scores tightly contested and some out of hand. And this one is one that is not really close right now. As Coppell on top by a count of 42-8 as their band just played and spelled out Coppell. And Coppell spelled out a dominating difference on the board, not just in terms of the score, but first downs it's 2-1. Coppell has 14 to Irving 7. And total yards, the Cowboys outgaining the Tigers 3-1, 312 to 97, and 156 of that on the ground, and 156 of that. You talk about a balanced offense. 156 on the ground by land or by air.
Yep.
You know, and we said before the game, Coppell doesn't throw it much, but they're pretty efficient when they do, and you have seen it tonight.
7 of 9.
Yeah, 7 of 9, and then Irving goes to the air and went 5 of 11. And out of only 11 passes, 2 were picks. Both resulted in points for the Coppell Cowboys. And the Cowboys have not even punted it tonight.
You know, when you have 14 first downs, 156 yards rushing, and a completion percentage of 77%, you're going to have a successful night.
Yeah. And, Irving had 4 penalties for 26 yards. 2 of those came down near the goal line. And you thought at the time it was going to matter, but Irving overcame that.
Yeah,
they scored anyway, and then they went for 2, and they got within 28-8, so they had a sign of life there. But this Coppell Cowboy team has just overwhelmed everybody.
Swarming.
A 9-game schedule this year because the Garland game got lightninged out, and they were up 10-0 on Garland in the first quarter. And they called it after a delay about 9 or 9:30 that night. Said,
you think it would have changed the outcome?
No, I mean it was not going. I think Coppell was going to win it. I don't know about handedly, but they were probably going to win it and be 9-1. And it really, it wasn't even going to change their status in the playoff picture as seeding.
No
it really didn't matter into that except getting the team some more reps with a non-district foe.
Yeah.
That's about the only place it did matter. Now, we said the winner of this game, 6-5A and 5-5A, will probably take on, I believe, 7-5A, and it may be DeSoto next week. DeSoto has
That'd be a good game.
first-round game, tomorrow. And last year, Coppell had to play DeSoto in the first round, and or the second round rather, and they would likely be doing that again. And
these later rounds and these playoffs is when you really start seeing teams that play good football, fundamentally sound. They don't make many mistakes, no turnovers.
DeSoto playing Copper's Cove tonight, and they have a comfortable 48-14 lead. That one in the second quarter, according to the scoreboard we're seeing. Well, we'll take a break and come back here with more of the Velocity Sports Performance Halftime Report. You are listening to Coppell Cowboy Football on ChampionSportsRadio.com.
Tired of only spending time as a family huddled around the TV? Would you like to enjoy some culture with your loved ones without breaking the bank? Then let me introduce you to the Greater Dallas Youth Orchestra. The GDYO provides music education and performance opportunities for musically talented youth, but this is no kids' concert. The GDYO comprises 7 different ensembles made up of over 425 talented musicians ages 8 to 18, representing more than 50 communities in North Texas. You won't believe how amazing these ensembles sound until you hear it for yourself. So join them for one of their concerts at the Meyerson Symphony Center or Dallas City Performance Hall. For more information on how to make a donation, as well as a listing of upcoming GDYO concerts, visit gdyo.org. And if you know a talented young musician interested in an unbelievable experience, auditions take place in the spring. Connect with the Greater Dallas Youth Orchestra on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and at gdyo.org. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention estimates that nearly 4 million brain injuries occur every year due to sports in the U.S. They also estimate that 70% of concussions go unreported. Not identifying concussions early can be devastating, especially if the athlete continues to play with symptoms. Catching hard hits fast is critical, and that's why you need the Shockbox Helmet Impact Sensor. The Shockbox is a small sensor that easily attaches to most football, lacrosse, and hockey helmets and instantly sends a signal to a smartphone on the sidelines when the player has taken a hard hit that puts them at higher risk for injury. The free app receives data from the sensor, displays information about the impact, and even walks the user through a concussion assessment. The app also logs symptom and impact data for future medical use. Visit ShopboxDFW.com to learn more about the Shockbox Impact Alert Sensor and determine if it is the right option for your child. Be warned instantly when a player has experienced a head impact that could result in a concussion. Visit ShockboxDFW.com today. ShockboxDFW.com.
The quintessence of marching.
Welcome back to Irving School Stadium, the Velocity Sports Performance Halftime Report. Barry Probst, excuse me, and Josh Vernon for a couple of more minutes with you. And Josh, Irving down in a big hole. What can they do here to try to get back in it and make things a little more positive in the second half?
They're going to have to come out, with a positive attitude. They're going to have to come out and eliminate the mistakes they've been making in the first half. Penalties. I think they're going to have to be a little more physical up front, to get these hard yards that they need. I think Del Torre's going to go in there. I think he's going to pick him up a little bit. And, I think you're going to see him come out fighting in the second half.
Well, Josh, we appreciate your service tonight here, and we know you've got other things that call you tonight. And we appreciate the time here, and it was great having you on.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate it, man. Thanks for the opportunity, and hopefully I can come back on one night and do it again.
That sounds good. Well, we will take a quick break again and come back in a moment and let you resume listening to the Irving High Band in a moment. But for now, you're listening to Coppell Cowboy Football on Champion Sports Radio here at halftime.
Never do today what you can put off until tomorrow, right? Now, that's not exactly the saying, but it seems like people would rather do anything other than doing something about their finances. That's why there's AXA Advisors. We work one-on-one with you to create a financial strategy for the things you need tomorrow. Start your financial strategy today with AXA Advisors. Call Thomas Lee at 972-455-9114. That's 972-455-9114. Securities offered through AXA Advisors, LLC, 212-314-4600. Member FINRA SIPC.
Stay up on all the latest news about the teams you care about and know when your favorite games are on the air thanks to Champion Sports Radio social media. Either follow @Champion Sports on Twitter or like our Facebook page at facebook.com/Champion Sports Radio, and you will know what time your game starts, who was named Player of the Week, or what your school's alumni are doing in college. That's on Twitter @Champion Sports and facebook.com/Champion Sports Radio. Your home for championship social media.
Halftime here, the Velocity Sports Performance Halftime Report. Barry Propes and a departed Josh Vernon now with you here in Irving under clear skies and about 62 degrees as the Irving High School Band now performs. We'll let you listen in to some of their performance here for a few minutes during halftime.
John Cornyn and John Cabot. The color director is Lily Brown. The principal at Irving High School is Linda Camp. The assistant principals are Tony Goodman, Tanya Lego, Pamela Wilson, Randall Filer, and Floyd Williams. The administrative liaison is Caleb Perkins. The interim director of fine arts from the Irving Independent School District is Mrs. Gayla Lawrence. The voice of the Tiger Band is Alana Patterson. Visit the Tiger Band website at www.irvingband.com. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2013 Marching Tiger Band.
Halftime here at Irving School Stadium, where the Irving Band has concluded playing. And the Coppell Cowboys are in command here at half by a count of 42-8 on top of the Irving Tigers. And we'll get you up to date on some other ones as well. Josh ran down some of those scores for you moments ago, and we'll see if anything has changed among those. He mentioned Highland Park on top of the Colony, 24-7. West Mesquite trailing Frisco, 23-16 at half. Denton Geyer with a big 48-0 lead over Saginaw at Northwest Stadium tonight. That one, all of these, by the way, are third quarter scores. Mesquite Poteet with a 10-2 lead now over Frisco Wakeland in the third quarter. Aledo blitzing Burleson. That one being played over at Saginaw. And the Bearcats have a 56-0 lead in the third quarter of play. Aledo better be careful. They don't want to get trumped up for bullying again. They better not let that one get out of control too badly. Decatur ahead of Carrollton Ranch View, 42-20. DeSoto on top of Coppers Cove, 48-14. That one being played at the Waco ISD complex. Lake Highlands, the Wildcats, taking it on the chin at home, no less, against the Allen Eagles, 49-0 in the third quarter. Justin Northwest with a 22-14 lead against Arlington Lamar. That one being played over at Birdville. Denton Ryan on top of Cottyville Heritage by a couple of scores, 27-14 in the second quarter of play. Ennis all over Lindale, 48-10 in the second quarter. That one being played at Mesquite's Hanby Stadium. Sanger clinging to a narrow 21-17 lead over Frisco Lone Star in the second quarter. And Salina trailing Gainesville 24-14. One more from District 5-5A. Hebron on top of LD Bell, 17-0 in the third. Plano West trails Jesuit, 31-24. A lot of people wondered if the Wolves would have the moxie to take on the Jesuit Rangers, and the Rangers with a 7-point lead in the second quarter. High-scoring affair, 31-24, not even halftime yet. And Liberty Ilo out of Texarkana trailing Kaufman, 21-14. We'll take a break and come back in a moment with more of the Velocity Sports Performance Halftime Report on ChampionSportsRadio.com.
This broadcast is under the direction and is copywritten by Champion Sports Radio. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or use of the audio stream, and any and all other use of the accounts of this broadcast without the direct written consent and permission of Champion Sports Radio is strictly prohibited. All rights are reserved by Champion Sports Radio and ChampionSportsRadio.com. This is a presentation of Champion Sports Radio, your home for championship broadcasts.
If you're a basketball parent or coach, you need StatGeek, the simplest way to keep stats ever created. Our easy-to-use iPad app turns anyone into a professional statistician, and all they have to do is simply follow the ball. Produce full and accurate box scores and play-by-play reports. Send accurate stats out to your fans, media, or recruiters. It's sports statistic collection redefined. StatGeek is available right now in the iPad App Store for just $4.99, and there are team fundraising opportunities available as well. On the web at StatGeek.com. StatGeek, keep your eye on the ball.
Looking for the perfect place to catch dinner before a Coppell home game? Then head over and check out the best mouth-watering, lip-smacking, finger-licking, great-tasting barbecue there is at Dickey's Barbecue Pit. Whether it's takeout, catering, or dining in, Dickey's Barbecue Pit will deliver some of the best barbecue you've ever had, and be sure to round up the whole family and stop by on Sundays when kids eat free. Dickey's Barbecue Pit is located at 801 South Denton Tap Road, just north of Beltline. Dickey's Barbecue Pit, slow smoked and served fast since 1941.
If you're
For all your auto, home, life insurance needs, plus personal customer service right when you need it most, call Agent Josh Workman at 972-317-9630, extension 58782. Since 1912, we here at Liberty Mutual have been helping people live safer, more secure lives. Insurance from a company as responsible as you are. Go Cowboys!
Daddy? Daddy!
Yes, sweetheart?
What's a router?
It's a tool Daddy uses for plumbing emergencies.
Why?
People get clogged drains, and when that happens, you can't take a shower, you can't do the dishes, you can't do anything.
Mommy would like that. Hey, why do they call you Mr. Rooter?
Because I get to run the company.
Why?
Because Mommy says so. Now, I have to get back to work.
Someone has a plugged up drain.
There's a time and a place for everything.
As you'll see, projections for the next quarter are...
He shoots, he scores! 2 points for team middle management. The office is not one of them.
Jack, can I see you in my office?
No pouting, it's your ball. Let's see what you got.
But Whirly Ball is. For corporate events, team building, and private parties, Whirly Ball in Hearst and Plano is electric fun. Test your skills on the arcade games. Zip around in your Whirly Bug for a Whirly Ball competition. Or play the most affordable laser tag in the city. Learn more at whirlyball.info.
Back at Irving School Stadium here as the Coppell Cowboys getting set to run under their black inflatable helmet right before the second half starts. We will take a break and come back with the rest of the Velocity Sports Performance halftime report here with Coppell on top of Irving, 42-8. You're listening to Coppell Cowboy Football on Champion Sports Radio.
Stay up on all the latest news about the teams you care about and know when your favorite games are on the air thanks to Champion Sports Radio social media. Either follow @Champion Sports on Twitter or like our Facebook page at facebook.com/ChampionSportsRadio, and you will know what time your game starts, who was named Player of the Week, or what your school's alumni are doing in college. That's on Twitter @Champion Sports and Facebook.com/ChampionSportsRadio. Your home for championship social media.
Back at Irving School Stadium as we get ready to start the second half, and we'll see who's been living in the limelight for the Coppell Cowboys here in the first half. Charles West among them, guys who were in the limelight. Charles West had 2 touchdowns in the first half, along with Brandon Rice, who had 2 in the first quarter of play. The Cowboys have had a lot of players contribute in this. They started it off with a Killian Bresnahan 32-yard interception return. The young linebacker jumped up, snared a pass one-handed, and raced back 32 yards for the score. That was just 49 seconds into the game and kind of set the tone for the way Coppell has roughed up Irving High here in the first half. Rice's touchdown came just 4 minutes later, and then not even a minute and 8 seconds later did they get a touchdown reception on a crazy 62-yard pass from Skylar Bonneau to Josh Fink, although it was tipped by Kashawn Mitchell and into the hands of Fink, who caught a similar touchdown pass against Flower Mound Marcus just a few weeks ago. Nonetheless, Coppell here with a 42-8 halftime lead, and teeing it up for the Irving Tigers to boot it away to start the third quarter of play will be the left-footed youngster for Irving, Ivan Soriano, who's got a great foot and planted one back deeply at around the goal line in the first half when the Tigers were going from our left to right, which is what they'll be doing here to start quarter number 3. And Soriano kind of gets a poocher up high. It's fielded at the 40-yard line. Oh, and then a very late hit, which might warrant a flag. Not sure. That one's fielded by Austin Moore, the 180-pound junior wide receiver. No flag flies on that, but a pretty late hit nonetheless from one of the Irving special teamers. But great field position for Coppell as we start quarter number 3 here, and the Cowboys on top by 34, 42-8. We'll look at some of the numbers here from the first half of the individual stats for the Cowboys. Gavin McDaniel with 5 carries for 78 yards, no touchdowns. West, 8 carries for 56 yards and a couple of touchdowns. Bonneau had 1 for 14, and Brandon Rice just 3 carries for 8 yards, but 2 touchdowns. And now we've got a new ball carrier, our quarterback into the game, Deion Foster. The 160-pound senior takes it on the end around and races to the midfield stripe for a gain of 9. Short of the line to gain for the first down, a little bit short by about a half a yard. Foster's going to come out, and Obi Obialo is going to come in and take his place here to start this play. Shotgun formation, Bonneau, 1 back set. 1 guy in the slot, the fullback, and Bonneau hands off to West, who almost trips and falls, but has a big hole up the middle, 40 to the 30, down the hash, 20, 10, 5. It looked like Charles West had stumbled and taken a knee, but he kind of hid behind the line and regained his footing, did not fall to the turf, and raced forward 50 yards for the touchdown. Not only was it a touchdown, it was a first down, brought to you by Plumbing's First Responders, Mr. Reuter DFW, on the web at MrReuterDFW.com. Extra point attempt to come, and Coach Aaron De La Torre's got to be worried, and George Howe, their assistant head coach and defensive coordinator, is Coach De La Torre said in the pregame interview he'd really thought his defense had improved greatly, and they probably had, but not against the likes of Coppell. As this extra point attempt just sneaks in the right upright by Adam Centers, and Coppell goes on top 49-8. 11:09 to play. We'll take a break and come back with more Coppell Cowboy football on ChampionSportsRadio.com.
About our 24/7 online banking. Or we could talk to you about our more than 1,100 ATMs across Texas. We can even talk to you about our mobile banking app that lets you pay bills, transfer funds, and deposit checks from anywhere. But at the end of the day, there's nothing we enjoy more than to just talk to you.
Thank you for calling Frost. How may I help you?
We're here with the technology and convenience you want and the service you deserve. Frost. Banking, investments, insurance.
Adam Centers with the ball teed up, ready to kick it off. Tonight's Coppell Cowboy Playoff Football brought to you by Frost Bank. They deliver banking services consistently Texas style, located at the corner of Denton Tap Road and Sandy Lake in Coppell, and by Plumbing's First Responders, Mr. Rooter DFW on the web and MrRooterDFW.com as Centers bangs this one long and deep to the goal line. Fielded there by Michael Coley, coming to the 5-10, up the middle with a little seam to the 15-yard line. That is where he's going to be spilled, and the Irving Tigers kind of cost themselves maybe 5 yards, as they could have had it at the 20. Coley's return 15 yards to the 15. Also brought to you by J. Macklin's Grill. Chef-inspired, reservations not required, on the web at jmacklinsgrill.com. And Floss Dental, a new experience in dentistry. Find out more at flossdental.com. So the story here is Irving trailing by a bundle, 49-8. First and 10 at their own 15-yard line. Christian Garcia in the shotgun. Runs the zone read. Antonio Franklin takes the handoff, racing across the 20 left side to about the 24-yard line. Might have gotten up to the 25 and enough for the first down. Actually, they're going to signal second down, just short by about a half a yard. Nice running there by Franklin and a 9-yard gain. And Franklin in the first half had untracked a little bit later in the half. Ended up having some positive yardage there. We'll break his numbers down for you in a moment. Garcia in the shotgun, second and short. And he again gives to Franklin, who breaks a tackle, coming between the tackles across the 25 to the 30, maybe even the 31-yard line, before he's brought down by John Arubin. And Eric Wilhelm in on the stop as well. In the first half, Antonio Franklin, 12 carries for 32 yards. Christian Garcia had 7 for 37. Michael Coley, 5 catches for 53 yards in the first half. That's kind of the numeric breakdown for the Tigers. Tight end right side for Irving. One back set. Garcia in the shotgun. Fakes the handoff. Fires quickly left side to Michael Coley with his 6th catch of the night. And Coley racing up the sideline to about the 36-yard line. A gain of about 5. It'll be 2nd and 5 coming for the Tigers. Meanwhile, the Coppell Cowboys trying to get some fresh fish into the lineup. And some of those include Nick Arubi, defensive back. Actually, we got a lot of the same starters in there, but and Garcia on 2nd and 5 fakes the handoff, keeps on the read option up the middle to the 40, 45, 47-yard line for a gain of about 8. Check at 11. Gain of 11 there for Christian Garcia. He gives the Tigers a first down. So the Tigers moving the ball with a quick tempo offense right now. Trailing here 49-8 in the third quarter of play. Big crowd on hand, too, on both sides for the Irving home side across the way by the press box and the Coppell visiting side here tonight. Low snap in the shotgun. Garcia looking downfield long, got a man thrown deep, and it is picked off. Well, and and dropped. It looked like it was intercepted momentarily, and Troy Parker could not hang on to the pick. That would have been the third interception of the night by the Cowboy defense. Those have been the 2 turnovers in the game tonight, period. The 2 picks by Garcia, 1 returned for a touchdown and 1 where Chris Atkins was tackled almost immediately. No gain on the second one. Although the Cowboys did later turn it into a touchdown. Michael Coley and Kashawn Mitchell come split out to the near side. 1 receiver wide to the left for Irving. Ball on the left hash. And Garcia fakes the handoff on the read option. Trips and falls as he gets to the 47-yard line and back up to about the original line of scrimmage. Coppell Cowboy player may have gotten a hand on him. It looked like it might have been Collins Okachka who reached in there and got some fingers on the shoelaces and tripped up Garcia perhaps a little bit. If not, he just fell on his own. It's a gain of about a half a yard and going to be 3rd and long. Almost 10 needed, in essence, for the Tigers. Going from our left to right here in quarter number 3. Coppell with 6 men on the line, showing pressure, showing blitz. 3-step drop for Garcia. Looks right, now tucks it under. Gonna run to his left and escapes one player and throws behind him to Michael Coley. He had to throw kind of behind Coley as he was running across against the grain and being harassed and pressured relentlessly by Eric Wilhelm. So it brings up 4th and basically 10, and the Tigers appear like they will punt this and try to play the field position and game and flip it. Troy Parker, who had a great return of 27 yards on a punt return in the first half late, or a kickoff return, and was walloped by the actually it was the punter, Alfredo Molina, who tattooed him on a punt return. And Molina has time on this. This is a wobbly kick off the right side of his foot. And Parker will get no return, but Irving will not cash in on as much field position difference as they had hoped. That was only a net punt of about 16 yards by Alfredo Molina. So Coppell will take over at their own 37-yard line, or actually their own 38. And they have started from the 38 2 or 3 times tonight. In fact, the worst field position they have had, one time they started at their own 25. That's been about it on a touchback. Other than that, it's been pretty good field position for the Cowboys, once at their own 40, a couple of times at their own 38. And that is the case here now as they run a sweep toss to Brandon Rice to the right side of the 40, 48-yard line. And Rice was off to the races before being dragged down over there by a defender on the right side. Looked like Kevon Thomas may have caught up with him and pulled him down, but not before the Cowboys move the 6 and get another first down. First down's brought to you, of course, by Plumbing's First Responders, Mr. Reuter DFW, on the web at mrreuterdfw.com. In the shotgun is Skylar Bonneau. 2 backs split to either side, and he runs the misdirection counterplay to Brandon Rice on the right side. Big hole. Rice spinning away from a tackler as he is pulled down across the 40 at the 38-yard line. Another gain of a dozen for Brandon Rice. And the Cowboys on the move again inside Irving territory at their 38 now. Looking at some of these games against, well, in the standings, first of all, Irving finished 4th with a 4-3 district record, right behind L.D. Bell, who was right behind Colleyville Heritage, who were all behind Euless Trinity, who finished in 1st. Shotgun, and it's Bonneau giving to Parker Wilson, the fullback, and he, much like Brandon Rice, is just spinning away from tacklers for a sizable 10-yard gain. And now we are getting wholesale changes in the line for the Cowboys as Jordan Murray, Glenn Williams, and Alex Goodell are all coming in for Coppell here in that offensive line. So the starters, Roger Moe and Kevin Gray and Seth Margolis, all come out here. Rice takes the handoff, cuts back up the middle. Big hole, 25-20. Now reversing field again, coming left side to the 20, and then tries to step back inside to his right and make a cut there to the 15, and that to the 10 even. That is where he's pulled down after a gain of 18. So Brandon Rice on this possession for the Cowboys has had 3 carries, all go over 10 yards here on this drive alone. Deion Foster comes in, Obi Obiala comes out. And Foster splits out wide to the right. And it may be Connor Williams to the left. And we have a new quarterback in the game, too. It is no longer Bonneau, but it's rather Miles Pascal, the 175-pound sophomore, who hands off to Brandon Rice straight up the middle for a modest gain of about 2 inside the 10 to the 8-yard line. Coppell Cowboy Football brought to you by Dickey's Barbecue. Check out the best mouth-watering, lip-smacking, finger-licking, great-tasting barbecue there is at Dickey's Barbecue Pit, located on Denton Tap Road, just north of Beltline. Slow, smoked, and served fast since 1941. Play-action fake. Miles Pascal rolls right, throws toward the right corner, caught at that spot at about the 2-yard line, and making the grab, a great one for the Cowboys. Looked like it was backup tight end Nick Johnston, the 220-pound senior, who doesn't see much action but makes a great grab there. It is 3rd and goal now for Coppell from the 2-yard line. 3-yard line, check it. And another couple of faces in the line. We'll mention those for you in just a moment. As Pascal sweep tosses to Brandon Rice coming to the left side, and he is bottled up and brought down by a couple of Irving Tiger players. Among them, Morris Shell III and also Brian Chase. As Rice's running attempt gets negative yardage, the only negative carry he had on the night. But some of the other guys in the lineup now for Coppell: Jackson Goodspeed. We mentioned Miles Pascal, the quarterback, Nick Johnston, the tight end. And now also coming in is Austin Moore, backup tight end, as Coppell is looks content to go with it here with a straight eye back formation. Parker Wilson, the fullback, and Rice, the tailback. And they fake the handoff. Pascal's rolling out right, looking to throw, throws, and it is caught for a touchdown by Liam Kaiser, the backup tight end, a 215-pound senior. And Kaiser with his first touchdown catch of the year. Comes at a playoff game. How about that? Coppell now on top 55-8 with a point after attempt yet to come. And Adam Centers going to boot this one through for his 8th extra point attempt of the night. He's perfect, 8 for 8. 4:13 to play in the third quarter. Coppell coasting over Irving, 56-8. We'll come back in a moment with more Coppell Cowboy football on ChampionSportsRadio.com.
Jay Macklin's Grill, you'll perfect the art of unwinding in a space that's warm and welcoming, with food that's fun and satisfying. Whether you are inside enjoying the mellow ambiance or outside people watching from the patio, Jay Macklin's Grill is sure to provide an unparalleled casual dining experience, which is why they were voted best in Coppell. Stop by Jay Macklin's Grill after the game and listen to live music on the patio Friday and Saturday nights. Jay Macklin's Grill, chef-inspired, reservations not required. On the web at jmacklinsgrill.com. Are you tired of only spending time as a family huddled around the TV? Would you like to enjoy some culture with your loved ones without breaking the bank? Then let me introduce you to the greater...
56-8, our score here. In the third quarter, 4:13 to play. Coppell on top of Irving. And it was Liam Kaiser with a 4-yard touchdown catch there, his first of the season. As Adam Centers has it teed up, set to boot it away, and he kicks it high and short, fielded at the 9 Coming to the 10, 15, and dragged down. Well, not dragged down, but has his progress stopped over there on the far side is Irving's Chase Goodall. Only able to manage about the 15-yard line. And that's a couple of times tonight the Tiger returnees have taken short kickoffs and not really managed to get very deep with them. Goodall, the junior wide receiver for the Irving High Tigers. Coppell up big in this and getting a lot of guys some game experience. We've got new faces in at cornerback and defensive back, too. In there at the left corner is Jordan Barbeau, the 5'9", 160-pound junior, and Drew McAdams comes in as a safety, too. We'll mention some other names for you in just a moment as Irving's Antonio Franklin takes the handoff between the tackles, and Garcia on the keeper, rather. Garcia goes forward for about 3 yards. Across the 20 to the 21-yard line, it'll be 2nd and 7 for Irving. And Irving still with a lot of first-teamers in there. And it is still Franklin in there who's takes the handoff and bobbles the snap, tries to reverse field, and is going to be pulled back down at the 15. And making that tackle for Coppell was D.P. Lambert. D.P. Lambert, the 175-pound linebacker who doesn't see a ton of time game to game. But D.P. Lambert with the stop there. And it's a tackle for loss, and it brings up 3rd and 9 for Irving. See if we can't mention some of these names. Boris Mulume in as cornerback on the left side now. Eric Wilhelm and Chris Bigger still in there. But big Matt Rockefeller in the game as a tackle now on that defensive line. As Garcia takes the shotgun snap, rolls out right, throws. It's caught by Goodall up around the 28-yard line, and Goodall has the Irving Tiger first down as he is wrestled to the ground by Tyler Hopkins, the 195-pound junior linebacker. Also in the game now, O'Neal Mbakwe as a linebacker for Coppell. And let's see who else we see out there that is new. Jared Calvert, 190-pound senior linebacker, also getting into action now. And D.P. Lambert showing blitz. Garcia fakes the handoff, has a big hole up the middle, 35, 40, 44-yard line goes Christian Garcia, and the tackle is finally made at that point by Eric Wilhelm, who is still in the game. Chris Biggers has been in the game, and he's coming out now for a breather, one of the first-teamers. And also in there on the right side as a cornerback is Mark Teffelteller, 5'9", 170-pound senior back, as Garcia flings it left to Coley on the run at the 42. Coley up the sideline to the 45, 50, and maybe did he get into Coppell territory? Not quite. He gets about a 7 or 8 yard gain, and they mark him short of the 50. Actually, they will call it a 5-yard gain officially. But Coley catching that ball in stride and has a lot of speed. Good athletic youngster. 2nd and 5 for Irving. Tigers trying to be on the move here now and get something going. Chase Goodall splits out wide right. Coley to the left, and Kashawn Mitchell a little bit confused now. Back out there at the left with Coley. In the shotgun is Garcia. He hands it off to Franklin. Coming right, tries to make a cut back inside and does so, and kind of stumbles forward across the 50 to the 48-yard line, and slow to get up after making the tackle was Jared Calvert for Coppell. It brings up 3rd and a manageable 4-yard situation needed for the Irving Tigers. Tigers trailing big in this one as we near the 1.5-minute mark in quarter number 3. It is 56-8. Coppell crushing Irving. And Garcia in the shotgun flings it out right again. Nice catch by Coley, and he fights his way forward to about the 45-yard line. Looks like he picked up the first down. Stop made over there on the far side in tandem by both O'Neal Mbakwe and Cameron Nettles. So we see a lot of new guys into the game, and it's good that the coaches of Coppell can get all these guys in there and get some reps and some game time and something that is otherwise out of hand. Trips to the right for Irving. Coppell showing blitz. Garcia flings it out right to Coley. Caught in stride again, dragging a tackler with him as he crosses the 40 to the 38-yard line and making the stop over there on the near side along with Nick Arubi was the defensive back Drew McAdams, but not before Coley can reel off an 8-yard catch and run play there. And Coley, with a catch tonight, is upward of about 7 catches on the evening for 62 yards prior to that. So, yeah, he's got 8 for 70 tonight. A good night by Michael Coley. Tight end right side by Irving. Garcia in the shotgun snap. Fakes the handoff to Franklin. Has a big hole up the middle across the 30 to the 28-yard line he goes. Maybe even the 27. And Coppell, the fresh faces who should be fresh are missing some tackles, but one of the guys might have gotten hurt trying to make the stop. Jared Calvert coming to the sideline now and holding his arm. He might have been shaken up a little bit trying to make that tackle on Christian Garcia. Garcia himself really having a good night on the ground. 12 carries for 72 yards. That is the end of the third quarter. Our score is Coppell 56 and Irving 8. We will take a break and come back for the fourth quarter. You're listening to Coppell Cowboy Football on Champion Sports Radio.
Tired of only spending time as a family huddled around the TV? Would you like to enjoy some culture with your loved ones without breaking the bank? Then let me introduce you to the Greater Dallas Youth Orchestra. The GDYO provides music education and performance opportunities for musically talented youth, but this is no kids' concert. The GDYO comprises 7 different ensembles made up of over 425 talented musicians ages 8 to 18, representing more than 50 communities in North Texas. You won't believe how amazing these ensembles sound until you hear it for yourself. So join them for one of their concerts at the Meyerson Symphony Center or Dallas Performance Hall. For more information on how to make a donation, as well as a listing of upcoming GDYO concerts, visit gdyo.org. And if you know a talented young musician interested in an unbelievable experience, auditions take place in the spring. Connect with the Greater Dallas Youth Orchestra on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and at gdyo.org.
Back at Irving School Stadium, as we start the fourth quarter of play, Irving going from our right to left now. Coppell calls a timeout quickly. So we will take a timeout with them. Our score, Coppell 56, Irving 8. You're listening to Coppell Cowboy Football on ChampionSportsRadio.com.
Parent, you want the best for your child. While you want your child to be healthy and to enjoy participating in sports, you may also have concerns about their abilities and possible injuries. This is where Velocity Sports Performance can help. Whether your child wants to be the star of the team or just wants a little more playing time, Velocity Sports Performance can help your young athletes reach their goals. Visit their Coppell location at 801 Hammond Street near Bethel Road and Freeport Parkway, or visit them online at velocitysp.com. Become a better athlete today at Velocity Sports Performance.
56-8, our score. We haven't even gotten underway here, really, in the fourth quarter. We've run one play, if that. And Coppell is on defense now, and Irving moving from our right to left here at the Coppell 27-yard line. Garcia in the shotgun. Big pressure, gonna be sacked back at the 36-yard line. Held it a little bit too long, and coming up the middle on a linebacker blitz was O'Neal Mbakwe, and Mbakwe wrestles Garcia to the ground rather easily. So Mbakwe gets Garcia to the ground, and that brings up second and long. So it was 1st and 10, and the Tigers were threatening, moving the ball at will there for a while on a drive that started back at their own 17-yard line. And back with about 3 minutes to play in the third quarter. Garcia in the shotgun, fakes the handoff, tucks it up, now airs it out deep down the sideline to Chase Goodall, and running step for step with him, providing good pass defense coverage, was Jordan Barbeau. Barbeau looking good there in pass defense. Garcia not able to hook up with Goodall, so it brings up 3rd and long, about 19 needed. Tigers need to get to about the 17-yard line in Coppell territory. Coppell with that 5-down lineman look. Garcia fakes the handoff, has some pressure, and he's going to be sacked. And he is going to be sacked. They whistle him down. O'Neal Mbakwe had him again. Mbakwe with his 2nd sack of the series, so it brings up 4th and a ton. So if you punt, you can't gain much ground. You kind of have to go for it. Maybe you hope for a pass interference penalty or a defensive holding penalty, but the way the Tigers are getting bull rushed here, they may have to offensively hold to keep these fresh-legged Coppell Cowboys at bay. Goodall and Kashawn Mitchell come split out to the left side, and Coley to the right. Garcia in the shotgun. He's got time, a little bit of time. Now he tucks it under. He's going to run up the middle as the 35, reversing field. As he gets to the 35, he has to come back. He crossed the 35, and then he started kind of coming backwards a little bit as he ran at an angle back behind that line and was dumped there at about the 35-yard line. So Irving turns it over on downs. They're going to give him progress to the 34, way short of the first down. He was some 16, 17 yards short of the line to gain and short of heaving it deep and having a guy back there catch it. There really wasn't a lot of options for Christian Garcia. We were trying to break down the numbers for those guys. On the season, Garcia had completed 101 of 178 coming into this game for about 57% and just under 1,500 yards, 12 touchdowns and 3 picks. Not bad numbers, but not anywhere near that tonight. It's James McCray into the game, and he is dancing around tacklers all the way, breaking tackles across the 30, 40 to the 45, 50 into Irving territory, but a flag flies back at the 42-yard line in Cowboy territory. This may come back in part. A lot of this big gain by McCray may be wiped out. We'll see what the head referee determines here, if any of it stands. Miles Pascal is the quarterback now, and that was young James McCray, who had a good week in relief last week. They're going to call this holding on Coppell and mark it back from the spot of the infraction at the 36 is where they're going to determine it occurred, and 37 rather. Mark it back all the way to the 27. So that will make it 1st and 17. And how about that? It's actually a first down, and these first downs sponsored by Plumbing's First Responders, Mr. Reuter DFW, on the web at MrReuterDFW.com. Pascal under center, hands off to McCray again, over left tackle, and he is just dragging tacklers with him. The beneficiaries of that brunt treatment over there for the Irving Tigers were both Omar Perez and Rene Pineda in on that tackle, and not welcomed very nicely by Mr. McCray. 9-12 and counting here in the fourth quarter of play. Coppell is going to move on and most likely play DeSoto next week, it appears. Game time and date not determined yet, but both were winning big and both ostensibly would face each other as McCray takes a sweep toss, and as he gets to the 38, his legs slide out from under him. He was about to be met by Luis Garcia at that point, but Omar Perez rather, check it. But Perez not needing any help as McCray slides down on his own. Short of the line to gain by about 4 yards. It'll be 3rd and 4. Clock near 8.5. Coppell up big, 56-8 in this. They were up 28-0 after 1 quarter of play. It has been all Coppell tonight. Miles Pascal under center, tight end left side. Sweep toss coming near side to McCray. Over right tackle to the 40, 45-yard line. Getting some blocks sprung there. And among them, helping provide a block was Omar Rosales, the 180-pound senior fullback, who's a reserve player. But Rosales saw some key carries a few weeks ago, as it turns out. We'll try to pass some scores along to you here from other games in just a moment. And, breaking down the numbers right now, Coppell with a 433 to 178 edge in total yardage. Closer than you'd think on first downs. Coppell only with a 20 to 13 edge in that column. As Rosales takes the handoff, tough running over the right side to the 50-yard line. And he is brought down that time by Irving's Luis Garcia. Garcia, the senior linebacker, and a kind of undersized one too, about 185 pounds. But he makes the tackle on Rosales there. 2nd and 8. And Coppell just running clock now. They've got another new face in the lineup over there, Pierce Kapinski, the 5'10", 165-pound senior wide receiver, getting the play brought in. Ball on the right hash, double tight end set for the Cowboys. Actually, 3 tight ends, 1 on the right and 2 on the left. But they run it to the weak side and the sweep and the short side of the field, and taking the handoff, the sweep toss pitch out over there was James McCray, and hit a lick there. Irving's Angel Pastrana there to meet him. And Pastrana puts the wood to McCray there after a 6-yard gain, 3-yard gain, check it. It'll be 3rd and 4 coming. And clock continuing to wind down here. Well, Aaron De La Torre did get Irving back to the playoffs after a 5-year hiatus of not making them in his 2nd year. They were 3-7 last year, and he turned it around to go 6-4 this year. As a man goes in motion, that's Pierce Kapinski. Sweep toss left side. McCray fumbles the ball, picks it up, and he is swamped back at the 45-yard line by a couple of Irving Tigers that just maul him, kind of, if you will. Among those, Omar Perez, and also in on the stop, Morris Shell III, who's had a good night in what is otherwise not a very good game for the Irving Tigers. Now, Coppell will punt for the first time all night. Chase Goodall will stand back to receive the punt of Adam Centers. Centers standing at his own 32. And not much of a wind in this one tonight. Centers boots it long and high. Goodall signals for the fair catch, gets out of the way, and the ball bounces on into the end zone barely for a touchback. And Irving will take over at their own 20-yard line, trailing by a bundle. 62 degrees here under clear skies out in Irving tonight. Barry Probst now flying it solo with you. As Josh Vernon had duty called tonight for his other obligations, but we were privileged to have him along here in the first half. Yeoman's here tonight. And we'll give you some scores from around those. Is Denton getting rough their opponent 56-7. We'll let you know who that is in just a moment. Garcia still in the game as the signal caller, and maybe De La Torre is just going to let his first team unit feel the reward of making the playoffs and string out the game from start to finish. Not a bad way for some of these seniors to go out, like Antonio Franklin and Christian Garcia, getting some continued game time. Frisco ahead of West Mesquite in the 4th quarter of play. 30-23. Denton Geyer up on Saginaw. Oh, they crushed them. 69-7 the final. And the Colony falls to Highland Park 38-17. Frisco Wakeland shut down by Mesquite Poteet 17-2. As Garcia hands to the first back through. That is Antonio Franklin still carrying the ball this late in the game, and not for a whole lot. You'd think they might want to get some other guys some work. Bertelsen is being bombed by Aledo 73-6 in the 4th quarter, and the Bearcats are in the red zone as we speak. Allen put it on Lake Highlands tonight, 63-6. The 5-5 Wildcats see their season come to an end. Justin Northwest leads Arlington Lamar 29-21 in the third quarter of play. Garcia rolls out right on third and short, about 5 needed, and his pass is complete on the far side of the field. And I believe that's Michael Coley with yet another grab. Check it. That may well be Randall Austin Parr, the catch, but it moves the sticks for Irving, giving them a first down, their first of the quarter. As we get to the 4-minute mark here in the game. Garcia in the shotgun, looks left, throws that way. It's caught by Austin Parr. He twirls around, comes to the 35, down the sideline, 40, 45, 50, and then walloped by Nick Arubi, who just laid the wood to him and totally depleted Austin Parr. And Parr gets up from it, and he looks like he's kind of walking slowly and got his bell rung a little bit. We'll see if he comes out of there. Boy, he was hit a lick, and they just showed it on the replay. It was a 15-yard gain, but it was one of the hardest earned 15-yard catch plays you'll see in some time. He really got stuck. And a penalty was evidently called there at the end of that play. I'm not sure what the signal was by the head official, but they're going to mark off after the play, maybe an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. This is not going to negate the actually, they must have called a hold downfield pretty far, because this is an odd marking 2 yards behind the line to gain. And so they mark it back 12 yards to the 31-yard line. The first down stands. Man goes in motion here for Irving, but some of the penalty yards just wipes out some of the gain, and Garcia rolls out right, throws downfield, intended for Kashawn Mitchell, and Mitchell not able to catch up to it. He had a touchdown if that pass goes long enough. Garcia, a really good athlete with some really good scrambling and maneuvering ability, but not able to connect there on that deep rollout. Ball will come back and be placed on the left hash, make it second and about 11 or 12. See what some of the other scores from around the North Texas area tonight. DeSoto was up big in their game against Copperas Cove, 54-14 in the third, as this passing play goes to Michael Coley, and he fumbles it, but it is recovered by his teammate on the far side, Chase Goodall. And Goodall, with the fumble recovery, I think gave Irving enough for the first. No, they're going to mark it short. No, they are going to have just enough. He made it by about a yard. They're going to move the sticks. The chain gang is going to move it forward for another first down, as we are now at 3 minutes here to play in the contest. Irving trailing by a bunch, but not giving up, not quitting at all. Christian Garcia still in the game at quarterback. He hands off to Antonio Franklin, and Franklin bottled up and brought down there by Nick Arubi, and also helping out on the tackle for the Coppell Cowboys was Ian Lynch, the backup senior defensive lineman who only runs $180, but pretty aggressive as a tackler through there. 56-8 our score as the clock continues to wind down here. It'll wind down on the Irving season. And Coppell will face DeSoto at a time and place to be determined next week, and a day, too. It may be a Thursday or maybe a Friday game. Big rush on Garcia, and Calvert, I believe, Jared Calvert wrestles him down back behind the line of scrimmage for a big sack there. What a hustle play by that linebacker, Jared Calvert. And he sacks Garcia back all the way at the Irving 40, and it brings up now 3rd and 14 for the Tigers, as a lot of their fans have left the stadium. The band and cheerleaders and pep squad still remain in force. on the home side of the stadium. But other than that, this one has wound down for the Tigers. 1.5 minutes to play. We'll get you wrapped up on the Jason's Deli postgame show right after this. Big rush coming into Garcia. He is under pressure by 3 Coppell Cowboys, and they rope him down to the ground. And making the big sack there, getting credit for it, was big 65 Matt Rockefeller, the 5'11", 240-pound sophomore. But it wasn't just Rockefeller making that play possible. There were 3 Cowboys blitzing in the face of Garcia, and they sack him on 4th and long, or 3rd and long, and now it is 4th and about 26, and the white flag comes up basically from Aaron De La Torre as they will punt it away, barring a fake, which likely will not happen. Coppell with no single safety back to return it at all. So there could be a fake. And Irving, well, a Coppell player jumps, and a flag does fly, and with 21 seconds left, it is killed dead. This might be on Coppell for jumping and making contact, but it would lead to an interesting play and possibility that Irving could fake it, as there is no one back defending. Coppell not showing rush, but certainly nobody back to receive a punt. Mostly meaning both teams probably want to just run out this clock. Actually, they call a procedure on Irving. They start the clock again. No wind-off here. But the clock starts again, and Irving may just be able to not even punt this ball away if they refuse to. They don't have to, and they may not. The clock is down to 5 seconds, and they're just going to let it end there and not run another snap. So Irving falls to Coppell handedly tonight, 56-8. Tigers showed life after falling down 28-0 after a quarter, but Coppell too mighty and strong for them tonight. And the Cowboys move on to the second round of by-district play to take on DeSoto next week, we believe. And stay tuned on the ChampionSportsRadio.com site to see when that game will take place for the listing there. We'll take a break and come back for the Jason's Deli post-game show. You're listening to Coppell Cowboy Football on ChampionSportsRadio.com.
High school seniors achieving excellence goes beyond top grades, and AXA wants your help in recognizing them. Up to 12 DFW area students will receive a $2,000 AXA Achievement Community Scholarship, and one senior in Texas will receive a scholarship worth up to $25,000. Do you know a local high school senior who has excelled at a job, sport, community project, or other extracurricular activity? They may be eligible for an AXA Achievement Community Scholarship. For more details, contact Thomas Lee at AXA Advisors, 972-455-9114.
Are you studying on your own for the SAT or ACT? Follow My Test Answers on Twitter and Facebook for free solutions to official test questions. Got a question of your own? Send a message to My Test Answers and get a response for free. Got more than one question? Don't worry, we'll answer those too. With over a decade of experience in helping students prepare for standardized tests, the experts at My Test Answers will get you the answers you want whenever you need it. My Test Answers, problems solved.
Did you know you could save on your auto insurance by switching to Liberty Mutual? Plus, you'll get 24/7 claims assistance, convenient payment options, and personal service right when you need it most. Contact Josh Workman, 972-317-9630, extension 58782 for a free, no-obligations quote. Go Cowboys!
The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention estimates that nearly 4 million brain injuries occur every year due to sports in the U.S. They also estimate that 70% of concussions go unreported. Not identifying concussions early can be devastating, especially if the athlete continues to play with symptoms. Catching hard hits fast is critical, and that's why you need the Shockbox Helmet Impact Sensor. The Shockbox is a small sensor that easily attaches to most football, lacrosse, and hockey helmets and instantly sends a signal to a smartphone on the sidelines when the player has taken a hard hit that puts them at higher risk for injury. The free app receives data from the sensor, displays information about the impact, and even walks the user through a concussion assessment. The app also logs symptom and impact data for future medical use. Visit ShockboxDFW.com to learn more about the Shockbox Impact Alert Sensor and determine if it is the right option for your child. Be warned instantly when a player has experienced a head impact that could result in a concussion. Visit ShockboxDFW.com today. ShockboxDFW.com.
Back at the Jason's Deli post-game show here at Irving School Stadium. Barry Probst with you here. Flying it solo as the Coppell Cowboys triumphantly celebrate on the field with their first-round playoff game. Irving trying to hang their heads high, too, despite a big loss. It's their first time back in the playoffs in 5 seasons, and Coach Aaron De La Torre has his bunch really headed in the right direction. They won 2 of their last 3 games here this season and got the ship righted after some big one-sided blowouts that could have left them reeling, going the wrong way. But they persevered and came back and managed to make a playoff berth and just were overpowered tonight by a more experienced, more physical Coppell Cowboy team. I want to thank everybody tonight for the sponsors. J. Macklin's Grill, chef-inspired. Reservations not required on the web at jmacklinsgrill.com. For Anamias, find out why this Coppell Mexican restaurant and caterer is considered tops in the Dallas dining scene at anamias.com. Jason's Deli, they love fresh food and premium or natural ingredients. Experience exciting flavors, true freshness, and real taste so you know that you're getting nutrient-filled goodness for your money. Download the Jason's Deli iPhone or iPad app and skip the lines today. Well, we gave you some scores from around the league, or from around the area, rather, and some others in progress. Decatur bombing Carrollton Ranchview 62-27 in the fourth quarter of play. Here's a nail-biter going on out at Birdville, where Justin Northwest leads Arlington Lamar 29-21 in the fourth quarter of play. Denton Ryan with a 37-28 lead over Colleyville Heritage in the fourth quarter of play as well. And breaking down this game a little more granularly in a 56-8 thumping of Irving. Coppell outgained Irving more than 2-1, 461 yards to 195 in total offense. 296 of that on the ground. They held Irving to only 79 yards rushing, which is quite a feat considering Antonio Franklin had 291 yards himself last week in a big win over Irving MacArthur. They end up with 79 yards rushing to go along with 116 yards passing. Christian Garcia goes 13 of 23 with 2 picks. One of those really costly. Pick 6 just 50 seconds into the game. Now, Irving respectably trailed in the first down category only 21-15, and not too many of those really by penalty, and a pretty penalty-free game between both teams. The Tigers penalized 6 times for 40 yards, and the Coppell Cowboys penalized only 4 times in the game for 30 yards. So not bad there. Or 37 yards, rather. Coppell had 1 fumble on the night, but they didn't lose it. And meanwhile, Irving threw 2 picks. No fumbles. They held on to the ball pretty well, but they were just out-muscled. Christian Garcia, along with his 116 yards passing and 1 TD pass, carries it 16 times for 74 yards. Antonio Franklin just 17 carries for just 43 yards. Keondas Hall with 1 carry. Michael Coley, a good night receiving, 8 catches for 75 yards, including a touchdown. Chase Goodall, 2 catches for 21 yards, and Keshawn Mitchell, 2 for 13. Running the ball, Coppell had a lot of contributors tonight. Brandon Rice, 8 carries for 51 yards. 2 first-quarter touchdowns that helped widen the gap widely in this one against Irving. Charles West with 9 carries for 106 yards and 2 touchdowns. Gavin McDaniel, 5 carries for 78 yards. He had 1 catch for 14 yards. Charles West had a screen catch and run for 32 yards that resulted in a touchdown. He had 2 receiving touchdowns on the night. Josh Fink, 2 catches for 73 yards and a touchdown. Back to the rushing aspect, James McCray, 4 carries for 24 yards, and Skylar Bonneau, 1 for 14. Parker Wilson, 1 for 10. Deion Foster, 1 for 9. And Omar Rosales, 1 for 3. A couple of more Coppell Cowboys figured into the receiving column, and we wanted to mention those before we break away tonight. Great game by Killian Bresnahan, too, to start things off with a 32-yard pick six. But on the receiving end, along with those guys, Obi Obialo, a catch for 12 yards. Blake Mayon, 1 for 8. Nick Johnston, 1 for 5. And Liam Kaiser not only caught 1 for 4, he got into the scoring column with a TD catch late in the game. Well, that will do it here from Irving School Stadium tonight. I am Barry Probst, thanking Josh Vernon for helping out in the first half and you for joining us here tonight and later via archive. And want to let you know to tune in again for Champion Sports Radio's game next week against Coppell and their opponent, ostensibly DeSoto. For all those involved tonight, that will do it here from Irving. You've been listening to Coppell Cowboy Football on ChampionSportsRadio.com. We thank you for listening.
Tired of only spending time as a family huddled around the TV? Would you like to enjoy some culture with your loved ones without breaking the bank? Then let me introduce you to the Greater Dallas Youth Orchestra. The GDYO provides music education and performance opportunities for musically talented youth, but this is no kids' concert. The GDYO comprises 7 different ensembles made up of over 425 talented musicians ages 8 to 18, representing more than 50 communities in North Texas. You won't believe how amazing these ensembles sound until you hear it for yourself. So join them for one of their concerts at the Meyerson Symphony Center or Dallas City Performance Hall. For more information on how to make a donation, as well as a listing of upcoming GDYO concerts, visit gdyo.org. And if you know a talented young musician interested in an unbelievable experience, auditions take place in the spring. Connect with the Greater Dallas Youth Orchestra on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and at gdyo.org.
Stay up on all the latest news about the teams you care about and know when your favorite games are on the air thanks to Champion Sports Radio social media. Either follow @Champion Sports on Twitter or like our Facebook page at facebook.com/ChampionSportsRadio, and you will know what time your game starts, who was named Player of the Week, or what your school's alumni are doing in college. That's on Twitter @Champion Sports and facebook.com/ChampionSportsRadio, your home for championship social media. This broadcast is under the direction and is copywritten by Champion Sports Radio. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or use of the audio stream, and any and all other use of the accounts of this broadcast without the direct written consent and permission of Champion Sports Radio is strictly prohibited. All rights are reserved by Champion Sports Radio and ChampionSportsRadio.com. This is a presentation of Champion Sports Radio, your home for championship broadcasts.